Get your special sock out, nerds. It's gonna get good.
Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, we all want you to know that we're happy you're here to witness this loser show. Before we get this started, hosting this comedy stream, let's introduce you all to the sad little loser team. Welcome to the Losers Lounge. We're all here to screw around. This whole panel is pretty strange, and none of them will ever change. Just sit back and relax, hell yeah! The first idiot is called Blue Collar. He works a ton but is always broke. So he drinks and cries like a hot mess because his life is such a joke. He's such a loser! This fat Italian is called Stupenzo. He rambles all night and all day. He watches every bad Hallmark film, so try to ignore what he has to say. We think he's retarded. We have this creature called the Gourd King. He's the king of puns with jokes that sing, but he's an evil punk and don't get it wrong, because he's sick in the head all day long. He's a real villain. This bastard is the sickest one here. What makes him happy is always clear. He loves to torture all of the strays, so he smiles when he sets them ablaze. He's a real sick creep. Welcome to the Losers Lounge. We're all here to screw around. We hope that we can make you smile, so grab your drinks and stay a while, yeah! Welcome to the Losers Lounge. Let's get the show started, hell yeah! Let's get this show started! Hell yeah!
Hello! Hello!
But it was still fun. It's like dun, 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 dun. You know, so for Gord, it was like the hardest thing where I redid all lyrics because Gord has this tendency to not swear. So that was my cleanest version of this, my intro. And it was so fucking hard. Damn pumpkin. So
Come
yeah,
on, we swag.
I thought the AI lyricist said Gourd King just fine. So
yeah.
just
Well, yeah, that's again that wasn't the first time. A lot of times kept saying "good," like the good king or the good king or the good king or the Gwowd king.
like AI. Gourd is an actual word. Why can't you
Yeah.
say this?
It's assuming you don't mean to put that. You're
Yeah.
not trying, clearly you're
So-
not trying to talk about a Gourd King.
Yeah, really. So as a show, Luke, I mean, you know, this is 2025, the days of convenience. I got my absolute vodka, but like, why do stuff like stir my own coffee when I can just press a button, it does it for me, and you know,
It's
only a Sith deals in absolute vodka.
it's 12 p.m. on Wednesday.
1 p.m.
Good
my
God.
time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
But,
6 o'clock here, which means drinking time. Got my nice little
Yeah,
single
yeah.
malt
If
here.
Northern Angus Bastard was drinking right now, we'd be like, hell yeah. Blue collar's
Well,
drinking
it's-
right now. We're like, you need help, man.
I have the same time as Blue, so by Democratic vote, it is
Mhm.
officially 1 o'clock
One.
everywhere.
There you go.
Yeah.
We win.
So as I told Enzo, StreamYard, because I don't have $45 a month to pay for the single version, and the year version is like $400. So there's no overlay. But what I'm doing is because talking to Nia does the overlay with Lethal Weapon, and of course Kanoa does MMM. I said I don't care about our stuff being monetized, but blocking is an issue. So I made kind of a faux like overlay as we're watching it. I'm just showing slides right here, but of course we're still showing the footage. But same thing, Gord. 30 seconds. I'll try to show 2 or 3 seconds, but. Man, YouTube's getting funny, man. Like 30 days a night, I show 2 seconds, they fucking nail me. And like your video,
Dang.
it's like your video's been blocked in certain territories for 2-second clip. I'm like, Jesus, guys, like,
Well, nah, it just depends on what you're watching. I mean,
mm,
I get away with showing all kinds of crap, but certain movies are probably more protected. This one probably more so than others because, they kept it off of streaming platforms for a long time.
Yeah.
And now that the trailer for the new one's up, now they're going to be
Jesus
nice
Christ.
enough to let us have the option to buy it.
Nadia, don't send me money. I feel so bad. You're a fucking saint, God. So
Yeah,
our
send it to
friend-
me.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, Nada, you'd be happy to know that this is not a found footage movie. It just filmed like one, which is why it's so great. The cinematography and the soundtracks are the best parts of this movie. Soundtrack changed my life,
Yeah, this is
Granddaddy.
legitimately.
Don't
a
forget the
great
casting.
soundtrack.
The casting is fucking great. Cillian Murphy, Christopher Eccleston.
Well, they were all
Brendan
unknowns
Gleeson.
at the time. Brendan
but-
Gleeson and Eccleston were the
Yeah.
only stars in this movie. And they weren't even that big. They're big British, English actors.
Plus,
Yeah,
Chris
Gleeson-
Eccleston
Gleason, you'd
was
know if
already
you
a
saw
regular on
Braveheart.
Danny Boyle, wasn't
Yeah.
he? Because he was on Shallow Grave.
I knew Gleason from Braveheart and Lake Placid, and everyone knew Eccleston from Doctor Who. But yeah, this movie is so great because, like I said, Granddaddy, my second favorite band of all time. I found them because of this movie. And
Yeah.
Godspeed
Nice.
You Black Emperor, probably one of my favorite instrumental post-rock bands. They're great.
Yeah, I was shocked by this because mostly, I mean, I don't know anybody who doesn't like 28 Days, but some people aren't fans of 28 Days. It definitely,
Well, if you're not into horror, zombie,
Yeah.
apocalypse stuff, it's probably this is the only. I mean, it's not a zombie movie because they're infected, but I'll say zombie movie just in general. But yeah, this is one of the only zombie movies with a happy ending that actually works. Most zombie movies end with the world's destroyed and we're off to survive some more.
Though, if you recall, this movie had actually had multiple endings you could
Right.
watch that were all. Actually, I thought all of them were pretty good. I am glad we
Yeah.
got a happy ending, but
Yeah,
it
It's
could
one
have
of
logically
it's-
ended in any of those.
they had
It's very
3
ambiguous
endings
as well.
Yeah, they
It
had
is very ambiguous, the happy ending, because did they get rescued?
Yeah, they
They do.
totally get rescued. Yeah, absolutely. Because the music is all happy, and I think he speaks Finnish at the end, and he says "send a helicopter." So I mean, that's great, and
Even though they wasted a lot of cloth to spell hello, they could have just spelled SOS or help.
yeah, and I mean, you could say every movie does it actually have a happy ending? Did the princess and the prince actually live happily ever after? The same thing could be said for this. I mean, yes, I mean it's
did
totally a
the
happy ending.
princess start an OnlyFans where she fucks 1,000 guys in a day while her husband was at work? I don't know.
Yeah, and like Toxic says, the reason why they pulled this filming off in the UK with no permission, they did have some permission. The police gave them a lot of permission, and the reason why they were very cooperative is because they were amazed at how fast they could set up shots.
Yeah.
Because it's all digital. Because they were saying like, oh, usually, hey, we need to film on a street. That's like, okay, we got to block off a street corner for hours.
Yeah.
It's annoying. But they were like setting up 6 camera shots in like minutes. And then they'd film the scene a couple times, and then they'd be moving off to the
Yeah, which couldn't have been easy though, because if you've ever been to London, it is busy all fucking day, all night. If they shot it in Hull, 1 o'clock in the morning, no
Yeah.
problem. Quiet
So
as hell.
what they did was they had police like slow traffic a few blocks away, so
Wow.
they would have like at least like 1 minute of like usable footage,
Yeah.
which is like it's great. You know, it's
Yeah,
really
I mean,
crazy.
I've only been to New York City like about twice, 3 times in my life, and I can't imagine if you had to film a movie to block off
No.
a city block in New York
A
City.
great
what that
example
would.
would be The Devil's Advocate when Keanu Reeves walks out of that building
Yeah.
and the city's all empty. That you probably had to block traffic off of several blocks for several hours to get that one shot. That's
Yeah.
typically how it's done with film. Whereas like
Right.
with the DV cameras, it's like, you know, set it up, shoot it, move on to the next shot. You could film like 20, 10 scenes in a day, you know, which is unheard of, you know.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, this
so.
is they filmed this for, and it didn't cost a lot. It was only like an $8 million
Well,
production budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the big thing, like Tony guys, because I bought this on Vudu, like all my movies that up until a month ago, this was it was hard to find or impossible to find digital. So now it's officially on digital platforms. But what was because I know at one point I did have the DVD back in the day, but
Yeah.
what was the thing? Like, did they was a rights issue? They blocked this on all digital platforms, and so a month ago.
I don't think it's blocked. I think it's just one of those things where like, hey, this is a movie people want to pay for. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they would take it off of it's probably because it has something to do with Fox Searchlight and Atomic Pictures or whatever. Fox Atomic was the second one. But still, like, yeah, I don't know. Because like Disney owns Fox now, but there's got to be something. It's going to be funny when 28 Days Later is on Disney Plus. You know.
Cool. All right. Well, it said so. Again, so we skipped the first 30 seconds because it was a different intro with the whole 100 years and blah blah. So we have the Fox Searchlight,
Yeah.
whatever opening here. So
28
All right,
days
guys.
later plus.
yeah, really. Okay, so it said my copies on Vudu, like all copies I buy. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Sorry, the button.
Go!
There we go. So here's my bootleg overlay. So
Well, keep the logo up
Okay.
so we can sync it up.
see, I'm not sure what the hell is that copyrighted? Like, Jesus, and so it's like freaking.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I doubt
Me
it.
neither.
I'm glad I watched this right beforehand.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Hey, Carlton.
But I know the movie
Vermont.
relatively well.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen this movie a bunch, man.
Yeah.
So I was actually shocked to find out. I mean, a lot of this stuff looks, recreated, but
Yeah.
most of this stuff is recreated.
It's my timer here.
Violence in the
Okay.
street.
We're all gonna die.
Yeah, it's not real footage. It's just all made up just for the film.
Yeah, this is the stuff they got. They have the monkeys watching, which I think in 28 weeks later they should kind of recreate the scene, but the monkeys are forced to watch like Disney Star Wars.
Oh my god.
Just to think, it's a bunch of animal rights activists that fucking start this whole thing.
And that makes perfect. Like that's if you want to talk about something that's aged really well about this movie, it's
Yeah.
that. Although I will say, like my only like I have maybe 2 or 3 semi big issues with this movie. This is one of them. I was like,
Yeah,
this
chimp.
is a very poorly protected facility for something so dangerous.
Yeah,
I
well,
think it's what this is. If you read the comic book backstory, the rage virus is actually like it's like an unintended, science. They don't try to make the rage virus. They try to make
Sure. I mean,
a
it's just-
cure
they-
for they. I think it was in the backstories. It was they tried to make a cure for like aggression, and for some reason they used Ebola virus as an inhibitor to piggyback the virus off of, and of course it mutates and it becomes
Well, like,
the.
To me,
Go
you
ahead.
could fix this. You could fix this because the problem is the dialogue explicitly informs you that they know
Jeff.
how dangerous this is.
Oh.
I actually think it would actually help this scene if he had said, "We don't know what this will do to humans." Like if he if there was uncertainty to it, and then you see in real time, oh my gosh, this is what it's actually causing.
yeah.
Like because you could still have the same level of fear and whatnot, and then when it just starts to happen, all of a sudden you're like, holy crap. Because it's
you
like
would
this
think-
guy they are explicitly aware of what this will do, and I'm like, it should have been better protected.
Yeah, he should be wearing like a big blood suit, a biohazard suit at the very least.
Yeah.
I'd love to know how they fucking infiltrated this place. I mean, is the security on fucking
That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
it's cool that they don't show you any of that stuff. These guys just kind of walk into the room. I mean, for all you know,
Yeah,
maybe
just
they
walk
killed some people to get in here. They killed a guard, who knows?
Yeah,
But,
Pug walked up to a guard and said, "Hey, what's that over there?" "I don't know. Check it out." What an idiot! Let's go in.
But I think the thing that was such a game changer wasn't just like what it does to you, the virus, but like how fast it gets you. Like one drop gets you in a few seconds, minutes, you know.
As well, I mean, when Brendan
That's
Gleeson
why
gets infected, it's like, I love you very much, but please stay away from me. Then he just changes, and it's so fucking instantaneous that no one has a chance to process what the fuck is happening.
Well, that's why one of the sad endings was, Brendan Gleeson's character gets infected, and the house that they go to with the military was originally going to be the place where the virus was created. So there's like a lab down there, which they changed because that was silly, and then they kind of added this primate scene at the beginning of the movie. It's a primate lab. But anyway, the point is, like, when Brendan Gleeson's character gets infected, one of the original endings was Cillian Murphy's character sacrifices himself, donates all of his blood. They have to do an entire blood transfusion, and that cures Brendan Gleeson. But they were like, as crazy as an ending that is, like, you can't convince people that there's a cure for a virus that's this transmissible, you know?
Yeah, plus what else do you do? Do you just drain every single vein of the blood and then replace it? It's like, you're going to kill the pest.
You get rid of every viral particle in a body somehow?
I mean, I'll say this also. These animal rights activists, just in general, are really stupid. It's like, wow, you opened up a chimpanzee cage, which is dangerous. That's dangerous in and of itself. It's like, wow, you didn't have anything.
This is a smart movie. Animal activists are fucking idiots.
Oh yeah,
and you think that
really stupid.
Like, I don't know. I'd imagine there were animal rights activists. They imagine they're going to open the cage to the animal, and the animal's just going to come out and like hug them and cuddle them and walk beside them out into the sunset.
Hug. I love you so much.
He hugged me with killer viruses.
Now, one thing
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, one of the things I love about this movie is, and I want to say 28 Weeks Later might have retconned this a bit, but there's never really any explicit mention of these people eating other people. Yeah. So it really just seems like their drive is just to spread and to kill, which I think is really, really cool, because this is more of an outbreak movie, so it's a virus acting like a virus. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that's why I love it, because it's like, first of all, like I said, they don't eat people as much as they just murder you. Yeah, and probably a little bit of cannibalization here and there, but that's why like all infected starve to death.
Yeah, I don't think they are doing it out of cannibalism. They're doing it out of
don't be sharing your dick. Don't be sharing the dick pics. Don't be Sammy.
Do you guys feel like this is The Walking Dead ripped off this?
Yes.
Yeah. Well. Okay.
Oh yeah. I agree.
This movie came before the book, right? This movie came before the comic book, right?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But people argue that this movie also borrowed from some other sci-fi horror book.
Yeah. It's I Am Legend, the original novel, I think.
Something like that. Wake up in a hospital. You were safe because you were in a hospital. The other thing was the ending with the bad soldiers and a few other things I can't remember, but
I'm just curious. I mean, I'm in American hospitals, Luke. I mean, is that common for just naked guys being in UK hospitals?
No, I mean, something happened obviously while he was in a coma. At some point, someone decided to lock him in his room to protect him, but also take his clothes off. I don't know why.
I'm saying, like,
maybe he was great.
Yeah, I think he could have been there for operation. I don't know. I have no fucking idea. Yeah, and the movie just paused for some fucking reason. He had
a very touchy nurse or doctor.
It could be.
Yeah, they fondled him in his sleep.
It could be. He was admitted.
But there's a lot of lube.
He could have been admitted like right around the time the outbreak started. So at the time they're like, just put him in a room and fucking, we don't have time to put him in scrubs or whatever. Right. Or the cock's gone. I mean, you could share footage.
Not my hospital, Boosh. Holy shit.
That was something I loved in World War Z, when they talk about how, like, when you imagine zombie movies from the past, like, zombies are always wearing like suits and clothes, but like in reality, in an actual outbreak of zombies, most zombies would be wearing pajamas, hospital clothes, or butt naked.
Mr.
Like that's
Sasquatch.
Only the visitors are naked in my hospital.
Right, exactly.
I'm just mad because Bush put down GERD. He's how dare you? He didn't say gourd. Like,
yeah,
that's punishable, sir. Maybe he likes to sleep naked, and the nurses just gave up and let him.
I do love these opening minutes though, because it's really easy to put yourself in this guy's
delicious
shoes.
Pepsi. Come on, no product placement.
I think that's solid product placement, though.
This is great product placement. Unlike World War Z, which had the same exact scene but retarded.
Yeah.
You know, he's in a hospital opening a Pepsi, and he's literally like looking at the camera, like, God, I love Pepsi.
It's the choice of a new generation.
The worst one ever.
Brad Pitt drinks Pepsi every day.
The worst one ever was a fucking Transformers 4, Mark Wahlberg, when he cracked open that fucking Bud Light in the middle of a battle sequence.
Honestly, though, I could relate to that. You know.
Honestly, the goat product placement is Wayne's World. It will never be done better than what Wayne's World did.
I mean, the fact that they still show them clips to this day, it's just it's like new generation.
When you cut to Garth and he's wearing all that fucking merch, and he's like, it's like
all
people only do things. Yeah, it's like people only do things for money. That's just sad, man.
Eventually, again, Wayne's World will be on our list to watch. Fucking.
Wayne's World 1 and 2.
It only shows me some
they're
old,
both just as close to each
90s.
other. I mean, they don't really up the stakes in the sequel. Just keep it the same.
No, but still, Aerosmith, you know, we're not worthy. You're worthy. Get up.
Cannoli showed me some old 80s or 90s Nestle chocolate ads. They're a trip because they're really it's. I don't know if they're exclusively for the white chocolate, but I think it's both. But they're really dramatic and they're almost like perfume commercials. It's like, this is for chocolate. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, they were trying to get a classier chocolate audience. They're trying to be like Godiva or whatever. You know, like the
birthday suit.
But come on, this
the
scene
chocolate...
where it's just walking around London empty. Come on, don't we
Again,
all
how hard is that
one day like that for ourselves?
Yeah, it's like one of those chocolate ads. It's like the chocolate's moving in slow mo. It's looks like you said, a perfume ad or an engagement ring. You know, classic music.
Your mascot's a bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor Luke said this is foreign to us, but this is, I'm assuming hard.
Hello.
Peace and quiet. Yeah.
Well, it used to be foreign to us, but we've had a few incidents that have made cities look kind of like this.
Yeah. Also, you know, this is foreign to the foreigners.
Well, these guys aren't tearing down statues unlike us, so.
Yeah.
Not yet.
That doesn't happen.
They're a little
apparently
behind the curve.
The elections are infected with rage.
Yes, I'm caught up. Finally.
Sorry, buddy. Yeah. But we'll get into it. Like I said later on, because technically speaking, this is because we've seen so much now. The first sprinting zombie, right, on film.
Now you could argue that the budget is the reason for this, but this does make you wonder. But it's like, okay, has everyone there's so few people that are like, okay, so are most of them dead? Did a lot of them manage to escape? Because you would think that it would just be a ton of zombies running around.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got shot right here. Oh, damn.
I think they leave it ambiguous.
Weeks later, it does establish that a lot of them have escaped, though. So.
Yeah, there were mass quarantines.
It's like they did manage Exodus. To study that, but they told you about the Exodus and everything. It was just like, wow, it must. But they acted like, well, it was kind of too late. I was like, it doesn't look like it was too late. It looks like
basically there was an evacuation happening, and at some point towards the end of the evacuation, when there's tons of people in line to get out, that's when outbreaks started happening at airports and wherever the hell they were, and that caused a big problem. But that's the other thing is there are millions of zombies running around, but I guess they spread out, and a lot of them die off.
That's just music to build over here
because they're not zombies.
Man,
yeah, this is Godspeed You Black Emperor. This is Godspeed You Black Emperor, and everyone was like, "What is this?" This movie put them on the map big time.
Such a great soundtrack, one of the best soundtracks of all time.
Just very
dude, I highly recommend you check out Godspeed You Black Emperor, dude. They've got they have albums that are just 2 songs, you know.
Yeah.
Each song is it's not even songs, you know. They're they're music, but it's 30-minute tracks and they got insane samples they use. They interview crazy homeless people talking on the street. They have crazy homeless people talking on the street, and they play this crazy post rock symphonic, electronic guitar stuff over it. It's really crazy. Yeah. The Dead Flag Blues is one of those things that's I still quote it all the time, dude. The government is corrupt. We're all trapped in the belly of this horrible machine, and the machine is bleeding to death.
Music, man. Holy shit.
Yeah. But yeah, this is where he's starting to get on. One of the great parts that we saw earlier was when he's just collecting all this money on the steps. Oh wow! Yeah. But then he realizes none of this shit matters. Also, people were very, offended by this scene or this movie, and this scene is specifically because this is like right after 9/11 it came out, like early 2002,
Mm-hmm.
So
people are soft. This has nothing to do with 9/11.
I know.
Yeah, what? Because he walked into a church and that's it.
No, the big all the people, all the missing people stuff on the town boulevard, boulevard,
Yeah, maybe out of sync
billboard, bulletin board. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, I'm probably jumping ahead, but yeah, I do like this little bit where it says the end is really fucking nigh. It's like, yeah, we've been.
Well, yeah, it's a little.
I like how it's written in excrement. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's a little on the nose, and it's very like that's pretty artistic looking graffiti. I'm not.
But
gonna
it's
lie.
great. The reason why it's great is because there's that reverse reveal where you read it backwards, and you're like, oh, okay.
Actually, I kind of wonder if that's like stencil of some kind. Like that does not look like it was just drawn on haphazardly. That's done very specifically.
Repent.
Dude, you ever see those big fat like paint markers that are like this big, man? I love those things. Those like graffiti artists use them all the time.
Wait for Luke to say it's fucking nigh.
And that's the other thing. A lot of this early violence from this part of the movie, it's all very inspired on like real, like the idea of like storing all the dead bodies in the church. Like that's something they took from like a real, like I think it was Rwanda.
Yeah.
Like it's just crazy.
And again, for something that's low budget, great. Yeah. Well, I'm saying like for something that's low budget, the how these guys spent their money, there's so much detail into these scenes with like because this is people that they didn't have a lot of resources, so what they use,
These people are all like college kids who all like volunteered to be in this movie.
Yeah.
They all just volunteered to lay in a big pile. And this is one of the freakiest parts of the movie. Like the first time you see infected and they just kind of stare at you. And they don't do anything at first.
Imagine coming to church for mass and you come for mass suicide. Oh,
but yeah, another thing is a lot of the infected are played by athletes, like actual like runners and stuff.
It makes sense because they've got to do a lot of fucking running, don't they? So you need
no
people
fatties.
that have enough endurance to do the scene over and over again when they need to.
Hello.
This priest is like, I haven't seen a 13-year-old in weeks.
I am glad you made that joke and not me.
Yeah. It's more creepy coming from an English accent. That's why.
No, because it's coming from a Christian saying it as well.
Allegedly.
That's not an alleged. This honestly could make for a great like Clear Eyes ad.
Yeah. True. Oh, there. Yeah, here they go. And they're fucking running.
Yeah, zombies running was such like a game changer, You're like, whoa, no, I don't like that at all.
Always man the shambling zombies. If they outnumber you, then there's a chance they'll get you no matter what.
Yeah, I prefer shambling zombies because like it's a metaphor for death itself, how it's always like slowly creeping up on you. But these aren't zombies, these are the infected. It's rage. Rage manifest. And that was something they talked about is the virus. It's an actual virus, and it doesn't like as being a zombie or a vampire, like it turns you into like something else. Whereas this is like the rage is like inherent in all of us, and it's just kind of, amplified.
Yeah, and this is the first time most of us were aware of Naomi Harris before she became Moneypenny as well.
Yeah.
Well, but this was before she did. I think Pirates was really her next big thing. She did.
The sequel. Yeah, it was the sequels right after, a couple of years after.
See, I knew her from something else before this, I think. Let me look.
I want to say she was in like a show or something like that was kind of popular, but
well, a lot of them were. They all started off in like these TV dramas, then they moved on to movie, and now they're back on TV dramas again because TV seems to be a big thing for actors now.
Oh yeah, they didn't correctly. They unintentionally didn't notify the police that they were going to blow up this gas station. So like fucking firefighters and shit showed up.
Yeah. That
cost like 250,000 pounds.
I can imagine. Yeah, that's a big shot for a film.
Honestly, this was really the first "quote unquote" zombie movie that I thought was genuinely
a good shot.
Scary.
It does feel more realistic, though. That's the thing. It's not very comic book like Dawn of the Dead. It actually does feel realistic. There's no supernatural element like in
it is. It's like
Fulci ones.
Zombies. Because zombies at a certain point after a while they stop being scary because it's like I can walk fast and get away from them.
But that's why it's a great metaphor for death, because like when you get cocky and you think, oh, you got everything all figured out, like that's when death can just sneak up and get you, you know, if you're not careful and on top of things. You know, it's stupid to underestimate zombies, you know. Oh, they're slow, but yeah, it's easy to get overwhelmed by them. And you know, they can sneak up on you without you looking or without realizing it, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's human.
Mark.
He says he's humorless.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah,
human.
you can't just leave that lion there. It's not a lion, it's a
Yeah.
giraffe.
From a hospital, yeah.
I love how none of the characters have last names either.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you don't need to. I mean, this could be anybody surviving.
This is like one of the better you know, exposition dumps in any movie, you know.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like exposition. It actually sounds like people trying to tell this guy what the fuck has just happened. Why is everything gone to shit?
Well, I mean, his clothes and
like-
his haircut obviously indicate this kid was in the hospital. He looks confused and
Yeah, they're-
disoriented. It's like there's a very clear reason why you would have to tell him this stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's completely natural and understandable that they would tell him all this.
But it's also like a shock, like when they're realizing, like, oh shit, you don't know what's going on, you know? I've got some
Yeah.
bad news. That's the
You
best
obviously
thing.
know this guy has just woken up from the hospital. The way his head has been shaved as well, like he was having, like he had some
Yeah.
injury, and they were gonna maybe dissect a part of him to
Yeah.
do some surgery.
Yeah, he said I think he said he's a bike courier and he got hit by a car basically.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
one
you
of my
actually see that in the multiple ending as well, don't you? Where you see a flashback where he's on the bicycle and he gets knocked off, and it's really badly shot. And I'm glad they left it out.
But that's one of my favorite lines of this whole movie, where she's like, "It's a virus, but you don't need a doctor to tell you that.
Something in the
It's
blood."
something in the blood. There's something in the blood." Like, it's not even like you know, like when you say it like that, it's like, dude, there's something in.
Will
our,
you quit
in
your
the blood.
Mexican medical mumbo jumbo and tell me what's happening?
Goddamn it, woman.
This is the antitrust the experts movie.
I bet you there's
Oh, yeah.
there was a moment like a week into the attacks where they're like, you know, research and scientists have determined that it is in fact a virus, and everyone's like, you know, hiding in their houses are like, no shit, what the fuck?
Here's a question. What about the government? Yeah. Remember,
Yeah.
There's
There's
always
always
a
a government.
government.
sure there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there is a fucking government
But
somewhere.
that's the thing is like, yeah, they say there's no government, no police, rumors of riots in Paris and New York, but it turns out that that's all not true. You know, it was another thing where it's like, and they leave it ambiguous in this movie, but you know, the sequel kind of clarifies that, and it does make more sense. Like, yeah, you have an extremely violent, blood-borne pathogen like this. It would be easy to quarantine an island like England.
Yeah.
We'd all be thanking God
Oh yeah, I mean
that
we
it's
are just
spread in
fucking
England
down
and not
here,
in
Sam.
not in China or somewhere, you know.
Yeah. The fucking
But it does sort of lead that there is a lot of fucking dodgy shit going on, because we found out the army has quarantined us, and it's
Yeah.
it's not spread to fucking America and New York. It was all a lie.
Oh yeah, lesson number go anywhere alone unless you got no choice. This is another thing. Is like they kind of clarify that the zombies or the infected kind of work more nocturnally. That's why like during the day when he goes to that church, like they kind of are like in like a stupor. You know, they don't like just rush him at first. They're like sleeping. You know.
Yeah, probably because of all the running they've been doing. They're probably sleeping.
Yeah, they-
all the-
Maybe
They
they
would
don't.
need to rest, yeah.
Yeah, and also like, you know, it's probably like they sleep during the day because like I don't know, the sun hurts their
Yeah, good
eyes and
shot.
shit. You know, they're very sensitive.
Well, and if they've developed any kind of predatory instinct, then they would have,
Yeah.
in some instinctive way, understood that humans are vulnerable at night. They're generally
Right.
asleep or tired. So
yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
another
yeah,
creepy
like-
part later is when
They are very
you know,
animalistic, aren't they? I mean, the way they run,
Yeah.
the way they viciously
Right.
attack people.
also like
yeah, that's one of the
another-
interesting. That's one of the subtle things about them. They're not dumb. They're not
Right.
dumb.
In fact, something I never noticed until recently was like the little boy zombie actually speaks.
Yeah, he does.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
he screams
It's
like,
just-
"I hate you."
yeah.
It's like, okay, calm down. It's like he
Yeah.
wasn't infected. He was just doing Anakin cosplay.
You mentioned before
had the,
about
had
you
the
know,
eyes and everything.
it was being digital 4K, but definitely while watching some of iMac, the graininess, certain films won't translate good into 4K. This
Yeah,
probably
this is one of them.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
definitely this is
It
the
looks
style.
better low quality.
Yeah.
They said they wanted to film it as if they were also survivors, you know, filming it, you know, like you know, against all odds, you know, making a movie in an outbreak.
Yeah, it's been
But
definitely the thing with like digital. Like a lot of people get upset with certain films from the 80s and 90s don't look good. When they update them, they don't. It's like they were made for box TVs and VHS guys. It wasn't, they didn't have
yeah, like
4,
you
4K
used to
OLED TVs.
when they're lighting a scene, a lot of times they're like, well, they won't see the strings. But then
Yeah.
they're not understanding like 30, 40 years from now, they're going to increase the quality and blast up. That's the other problem is
Definitely.
they don't just make it higher quality. They will fix the lighting. Something they did with 7 was they like all the
Oh, damn, look at that.
dark blacks in the shadows to where you can't even see anything. It just looks like pitch blackness. That stuff's great. And then
Yeah.
what they'll do is they'll bump up the brightness so you can see what's back there. And it just, everything has this like flat, desaturated color, low contrast look to it. And it's annoying.
Alcohol and pills. Yeah. That's the way to go out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I assume they killed themselves fairly recently, a week or two ago, maybe.
Yeah, but based on how to decompose them. Yeah, plus
And
you said Enzo.
we left
Recently,
you sleeping. Now we're sleeping with you. Don't wake up.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like one of the worst things to read. In fact, I also read that what's her name? The girl,
Naomi Harris.
Yeah. What's her character's name?
Selena.
Selena. Her backstory that they had came up with her was that she had to kill her own mom and dad because they were infected to protect her brother, and then it turned out her brother was also infected. It's like, damn, dude, that's hard.
It does.
So
it
that's
does
why
make
when she
sense
tells
why
him,
she's
that's
a
why
little bit more colder, though.
well, that also is why she tells him, "Hey, man, you should be grateful." Like a lot of people had it worse.
Well, it would also explain, why she's, she starts this movie off very detached and doesn't want to get close to anyone. She's just like surviving's the best there is.
Oh, and then
Yeah,
Mark.
that show don't tell. That show don't tell. No fucking forced, dumped exposition on a character to make you sympathize with them or understand them.
I like how
Visually.
Mark is telling you like his personal backstory. He's just telling you one anecdotal experience he had specifically. He doesn't tell you they don't tell you like broad strokes of what happened and how it happened. He's just like telling this crazy story about how when they went to the airport, it turned into a big riot. Everyone got trampled.
Yeah, everyone's like a big fucking load of. It's like a people carpet. He describes it as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, I didn't see my mom or my sister, but
Like
I saw
everyone
my
said,
dad.
that's the problem with cash. Cash is only valuable to depend on who you give it to. And it's like, it's funny during riots, you'll see people going for food and toiletries, other guys going for big screen TVs. Like, dude, that fucking 40-inch TV or whatever flat screen won't feed your kids. Like,
hey, free TV!
They touch on this in shows like Game of Thrones where they say, the richest people during like a siege are the people who have the food. It's the same principle here.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I saw
I
my
like
dad.
how we're getting to know this guy's backstory because then he gets killed straight away. It's like anyone could fucking die.
No,
Yeah, it's like the movie's letting you get to know him and making you think this guy's a character.
Yep.
And then just
And it's gone.
it enhances the suddenness of how you have to deal with this problem.
And
how
brutally he gets murdered too, with like no remorse, screaming, "Please don't, no, don't hack me up, don't hack me up to death with a machete."
She does not compromise. I mean, someone gets bitten, you're fucking dead. I don't care if how close I've bonded with you. You're fucking dead. You're gonna kill me, aren't you?
I'm not hanging out with you during a fucking apocalypse.
Jesus. Yeah, I always loved this weird shot where he's got like this weird.
Yeah,
that's good.
He's
shot.
in frame at the
Yeah.
top, and then the camera kind of pans up. It's just such a weird. I love it. It's just strange.
Yeah, I'm like the guy. If Enzo and Luke got bit, I might try to save him, and Luke's like, "No, fuck, shoot Chris." Like, Jesus, man, give me a couple seconds. Like,
well, this movie's just got such
I'm doing
an
it to protect
original
you,
look
Chris.
to it.
You
But
do
this
the
is another
same for
thing
me.
that's this is
sure I
another
would.
thing that's super creepy was like, they talk about don't go out at night. And yeah, like he lights a little candle and some fucking infected just sees the candle
Hey,
in
Gemma,
a
how are you?
window and just comes running,
Yeah.
Oh, also this scene was shot the flashback stuff was filmed in 8mm.
Oh, definitely. That's what we're saying, Gemma.
It's why it's got this great different kind of gritty look,
Once
and
it's
also
on-
all the stuff with the infected is filmed in that like sped up, like Saving Private Ryan, like you filmed it for slow motion.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty cool.
I'll just tell him
Like, so you can always instinctively tell when the infected are coming because like the way the camera gets all jittery,
Yeah,
Jumpy.
there's something about like that's why it's like a lot of these films I don't watch them. It's been a good decade, if not 15 years, since I watched this, and just I like almost watching it fresh eyes, but also appreciating like the graininess and the setup is man. Because you always wonder certain films. It's been 20 years, has aged well, and it looks fantastic in 2025.
Yeah, he just remembers when he was standing in this kitchen drinking orange juice, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even when the whole world goes to shit, you
Here we
still
go.
have that yearning for Days of the Past, don't you?
Stupid candy.
Ugh.
Oh, that's loud. Oh shit!
Yeah, these guys are trashing the
It
place
just
now.
blew my ears out. Jesus. He's like, shut up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Naomi Harris got me erect when she did that.
Oh,
That's
damn.
hell of a woman. She sliced that bastard up.
We want to buy your candles.
I love how they don't tell him how infectious the virus is until now, you know?
Yeah,
That's
did any of the blood get into your mouth? I mean, you don't need to say any more than that. You know exactly what she means.
Yeah. Were you bitten?
But you were bitten.
And
Yeah,
this is like the best, like, oh fuck moments, like I'm dead, you know, when he's like wiping this blood out. Oh no.
She actually does have like 1 second of hoping that of processing what the fuck is happening before she starts hacking him off.
First, she hacks his arm off.
Yep.
And then she starts just like hacking him in the head, you know, like, oh, what a brutal way to die.
Boy.
But basically, yeah, it's like he's holding his arm up in defense. It's like, all right, I'll cut through that, then kill.
It's like that.
It's also like, you know, these two might have been having sex, you know, for all we know, you know, and she just like flicks it off like a switch, you know.
Yeah.
Come on. They had fucking sex. Come on, things get hectic.
Yeah.
You get a bit lonely.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, we
So
don't
you're
know
having
how
sex with a
long
hot
they've
woman
known
who's,
each other, and
yeah,
it's only
we
been
survive
4
them.
weeks. It's only been
Yeah.
4
More-
weeks. It hasn't
more
been
inf-
like months.
Yeah, more
True,
infected
yeah.
will be coming. They always do. Let me grab another Pepsi.
Well, thank fuck they found Killian Murphy because now she has someone else to fuck later on.
Yeah.
She don't get too lonely.
In these trying times, we must make hard decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice shot, man.
It's like this girl, she doesn't do the over the phone breakups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like me over text message.
No, she's very blunt and straight to the point.
So what is this, like
On the edge, anyway, I should
5:30?
say.
5:30, like 6 in the morning,
Yeah.
probably. They've been walking
Mm.
all night. There was blood on me. There was blood on you. I didn't know he was infected. He knew. I could see it in his face.
Yeah, exactly.
I could ruin that streak by just putting a comma after bus. Bus, stop!
Whoa, the second mark is at 28 seconds, bro. Oh, God, I
my
hate fucking
It's an Easter egg.
I do like the fact that she's there straight to the point. Listen, you get infected, I will kill you. No fucking hesitation.
I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, he was full of plans, Mark. You want to find a cure or save the world, or you just want to fall in love and fuck? Plans are
I'd fall in love and
pointless.
fuck, if you don't mind.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I
I'll
had-
choose the latter.
I mean, if option 2 is up for discussion,
That one sounds easier.
yeah. We don't even have to plan it.
Yeah, plus two of the sound designs.
Yeah,
like
we
wearing
don't have to
headphones.
fall in love, but the last part still sounds good.
You know, like,
Yeah.
all these scenes are just they're slow, methodical, and I know we're just shh, motherfucker. These damn.
Yeah, honestly though, Brendan Gleeson and his daughter have a pretty sweet setup. Like they got this whole like apartment building to themselves, and they've got this big like barricade at the front, which probably doesn't keep infected out, but it alerts you when they're coming. And also, if they do come in, like you've got this riot suit, and that's really all you need. You know, you could be like a one-man army and take on the infected, especially if you had a gun. Like if you had a machine gun and some plenty of ammo and one of these bio suits, like these like SWAT gear suits, like you're pretty golden, you know?
Yeah, that's England for you. They took away our fucking guns. Now we can't defend ourselves against the
'Cause
infected.
that was the thing about World War Z that was
Proud to
so
be an
awesome
American.
was the Battle of Yonkers explaining how like it is not easy to kill zombies. Like
Yeah.
you're firing at the center mass, you're
Hey,
fucking
buddy.
dropping bombs on them, and it's like doing nothing. You know, like they get blown up and they get right back up. You have to destroy the brain.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like that is a lot easier said than done.
Definitely.
Because people die, like when you're immortal, when you are amortal, you can die very easily, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes a bomb goes off next to you and your nervous system just shuts off and you just die. That doesn't happen with zombies, but it would happen with the infected. Like the idea that you could just beat an infected to death with a bat, or strangle them, or stab them in the belly and they can die a few minutes later. Like that's actually pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes up for the fact that how transmissible the virus is,
Yeah, I liked about the Hurt Locker with Jeremy Renner. It's like one point he gets close to the bomb and takes off his suit. Like, what's the point taking off the suit? Listen, this range wouldn't matter. I'm just taking the fuck. I can breathe because the concussive effect and just who cares?
Well, the concussive effect's what killed Guy Pearce at the beginning of that movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Once it goes off, you see it. He doesn't get caught in the actual explosion. It's the concussion that kills him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, what's the point in wearing that fucking suit? I mean, at least you can maneuver a little bit more, get around some of the areas in the bomb you can't get to.
Well, the point of the suit is usually, I would say, for smaller explosives, that would be highly protective. But I mean, if you remember his specific reason when he took it, he was like, there's enough explosive here to blow us all to Jesus. So
yeah,
if I'm going to die comfortably. It's like this. It absolutely does not matter in this case.
That's another film too.
I know that suit, it's meant to absorb some of the shocks. If you get far enough away, like Jeremy Renner does at the end of the movie, you'll survive. But at a certain distance, it's not going to help you.
No, definitely Hurt Locker. Another film I want to put on rewatch. That's such an underrated movie.
Dude, all you need is a billy club and a riot shield. And a small corridor like this where you have to take them on like one or two at a time.
Also, good on these guys. We're 35 minutes in, and the pacing is, I swear, you get like 2-3 minutes of dialogue, zombie scene, 2-3 minutes of dialogue, zombie scene. There's no like long drawn 45-minute sequences in this film.
Yeah,
it's just
they
like
get a lot of exposition out the way without making it boring. I mean, and
that's what I appreciate.
Yeah, like there's probably there's maybe a stretch of about 20-25 minutes later on, which funny enough is actually my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah,
that there is no zombie stuff, but yeah, that's,
it's
very intense. Yeah.
Well, it's definitely all four of us watch horror films and I'm not against them, but certain horror films just have, what they call a slow burn. And so far we're only half hour in. We've already got like 3 major zombie sequences. Like shit, good job, guys. Like,
yeah.
One thing I like is that the characters don't feel like cartoons or typical cliche cartoons. They feel like real people you could actually meet. I mean, I know guys are a little bit like Brendan Gleeson's character, just very fucking ordinary guys who just wants to live a normal life with his daughter, but unfortunately, this guy's caught up in this whole apocalyptic thing, and he has to protect his daughter no matter what.
To me, he's always Mad Moody from Harry Potter.
What? No way.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the last things I think about.
Yeah, same.
This and Lake Placid was like I said, and Braveheart was the movies I knew him more from.
Braveheart and In Bruges.
Lake Placid. Lake Placid, he's great.
Dude, he was so good in Lake Placid. Again, another film. I remember I seen that in theaters. The entire audience was, oh my god.
Dude, Betty White calls him Officer Meatfuck to his face, and the whole audience just like laughs their ass off.
The best line was Betty White was like, if I had a dick, I would tell you to suck it.
Yeah, if I had a dick, this is where I tell you to suck it.
Such a good movie. If we're getting
Brendan Gleeson is always good. I don't think I've ever seen a bad movie with Brendan Gleeson.
Dude, yeah, his later movies. What was the one where he's like a priest?
Calvary.
Calvary was fantastic, and then also The Guard was great. And
Banshees of Inisherin as well.
Banshees was fantastic.
Banshees of Inisherin, he's great.
The Guard.
I just like it. Like me before.
I think The Guard and Calvary were both directed by Martin McDonagh's brother.
Same guy. Same guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's a good director. He always has like
Kingdom of Heaven
on a lot of his movies.
So this is crazy. This celebration scene, they filmed it on 9/11. And they said it was really weird.
Really?
Yeah, they said it was really weird having this like toasting celebration scene, but it was actually kind of fitting because you're literally celebrating in a zombie apocalypse. And yeah.
I like the fact he has to shave with a really dull blade as well, and it's like
with no water.
With no water.
Yeah.
I do that in prison once.
At a certain point, I would just be like, I'm growing a beard. Like, what the fuck?
Like, it does give more reason to why Brendan Gleeson wants to get the fuck out as well, because he's not getting any rain in fucking England of all places. A place
I like it.
Rain.
There's a little subtle visual touch where you see the fish tank and it's really low. It's like, oh, that's what they're using for water. I was like, that's a nice little touch. I like that.
Yeah. The fish, but they still like keep the fish alive. They don't they don't drain the tank completely. Well, it's kind of like, I mean, because Naomi Harris's character is like kind of the one character who doesn't
survival's kind of all there is for her, whereas everyone else in this little group is trying to maintain a sense of humanity about them. So that's kind of one of the primary themes of the film is, you know, maintaining humanity, maintaining those bonds. It's like this, and it's not hitting you over the head with it at all. It's just very natural.
Yeah. People come together. Yeah, here you go. There's the scene. And I think, like, what also I read was 28 days late. 28 days is the general time that most populations get immunity to a virus or an outbreak. That's another interesting thing. It's pretty cool.
I ain't gonna lie, this scene you're finally seeing her without anything other than her head, and I was like, dang, she's actually kind of hot. Because before you're kind of seeing her with the bandana on and stuff. I'm just saying, it's like at first you're seeing her with the bandana, she's very tough, she's dangerous and stuff. Now you're just seeing her in the light without her head. It's like, oh wow, she's very attractive.
Man, when she's not trying to, you know, chop off your head with a machete.
Yeah, she doesn't look too glamorous either. She looks very kind of ordinary, but still attractively ordinary.
Yeah,
for lack of a better term.
Well, no, I mean, some of the most beautiful women I've met in my life were just when they wake up and they don't put on 19 pounds of makeup and just something just about the lighting and
she gets you know, you like her looking plain, you know.
See, Bush, I'm pretty sure last year I caught COVID twice, but I was so drunk I didn't notice. I just kept drinking. I'm like, wow, screw it.
See, I understand. Cillian
well,
Murphy,
at that point, you should call it. At that point, you of all people should call it Corona.
Yeah.
Isn't me always alcohol the perfect fucking cure for fucking?
Well, that's what mother says. Shit, Chris, you have COVID? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm gonna keep drinking, going back to work. I don't
know. I'm about to go to karaoke and drive a bus around with my infectious disease.
I've been sterilizing my blood with alcohol.
My sister's like, "Are you sick?" I'm just like, cough to the mic. I'm like, no, I'm fine. Just.
Yeah, but a lot of this hard liquor is kind of like antibacterial anyway. A nice bit of fucking whiskey for me.
Yeah, you're copying wrong if your lady friends are waking up.
I know, unfortunately.
Now, this is actually interesting. The reason why this condensation trap doesn't work is because you're supposed to do it over soil. If you do it over asphalt, it doesn't work.
Of course you would know that.
No, I mean, I read that earlier today. So
look at that shot.
All those buckets as well. All those buckets. I mean, they've had to fucking piss and shit in it, and there's no water to wash it down when they throw it over. It's
exactly.
I would hope you would have a separate bucket for that.
I mean,
that's how you'd know someone is alive in one of these buildings. You'd walk around the block, around the perimeter, and if you see a big pile of shit like thrown out of a window, you're like, okay, there's survivors here.
No, it's worse when you're walking by and someone's shitting off the roof and it lands on you. Like,
no, there's a survivor above us.
That's a risk. That's a risk in all sorts of that's a risk in all sorts of third world places. You're walking down the street and someone's emptying their fucking bucket out their balcony. And it fucking falls right on you.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I would have no problem going to the top of the roof and start pissing off the freaking roof. And someone's looking down.
What's crazy about digital is that close-up shot of the radio looked like it was green screened, but it is.
I was about to say that.
Oh yeah.
No, it can't be done.
That's something that they do with Collateral. The idea that the background is totally lit up and in colors. Like you could see all the details in the clouds and the greens and the yellows, and it's awesome. All that stuff gets blown out or washed out in film,
I just realized too, this film has great diversity. Can't complain about
What's the cameraman fucking hanging off the edge of this balcony?
Great camera angles too, like they're gonna film that fish tank, they choose a very weird rule of thirds style setup, extreme close up, a lot of Dutch angles.
Jared, but I suppose.
Yeah. We heard you talking shit about us.
That's okay. It's the truth.
Truth.
I can't leave the block of it.
But it does give them a reason why they need to leave this fucking tower block, though, because they need to get they've got no fucking water. They need to get some more resources and find out if there's any hope left.
Well, I also like how Brendan Gleeson just naturally kind of adopts these two and kind of becomes a father figure to them as well.
Yeah.
Later when Cillian Murphy calls him dad, jokingly.
Yeah. I think he's just groggy and he just
plus he needs them as well. He needs them as well because if anything happens to him, his fucking daughter's fucked.
Yeah, that's what he says. And he's like, yeah, but then Hannah brings it in and he's like, no, you're fucking, that's the point that Gord King was saying. Like, we need each other, during these times of strife. Like, you're acting like, Selena is talking about how, like, it's just me and I just got to look out for myself. That's not the way to survive.
Yeah.
I always thought his daughter was a little bit wooden, though. She's like, she has this very monotone delivery. I don't know. It's,
Well, I think that's the thing is like, I think she's adapted to this this lifestyle quicker than others because she's so young and malleable.
He said, "I don't take checks or credit cards." It's so funny.
I think young girls are just naturally boring.
Yeah,
That's true.
It's like The Road, when he's got that little boy who's like desensitized to all this stuff because he grew up in that world,
I've listened to other people saying streams with The Road, another book I did read in prison, and I watched the film. I was like, my God, this is a fucking epic adaptation. It's so good.
Nihilistic as hell, man. It really is.
The Road is. I don't really consider the movie the book nihilistic. I think it's everything around them is nihilistic. But gosh, that book is heart wrenching.
Oh yeah,
one of the few books that will genuinely I just stop reading just to collect myself.
Yeah.
Dude,
I was already in prison reading it, so I'm like, it can't get no worse. Yeah. I'm reading it.
Well, that's how I felt about Blood Meridian. Blood Meridian, I had to stop reading at night because it was literally giving me nightmares. I was like, wow.
Like, now that's the bit where he has to change the fucking tire, and he's got the infected going after him, and he has no fucking time.
Cillian Murphy had warned, he had warned him because this is a really bad idea. Going underground like this.
That's the best line ever. He's like, you know how I know it's a shit idea? Because it's very obviously a shit idea.
The world is built around shit ideas.
I think too is like the sound effects. Like you can hear every sound effect in this scene. Like, damn.
Dude, I had something like this happen where we were in my buddy Scott's brand new car driving off roading, and we were like kind of lost where the road was, and he just decides to like hoof it in the woods and fucking flatten the tire on a big tree stump. It was just like, wow, saw that coming.
It also shows how bad the infected is because even the rats are running away from him.
Yeah.
The words, this is me in the time of disaster. Yeah, fucking idiot. Should have listened to me.
Thanks, Enzo.
Like, I'm going to help you fix it, but I'm going to definitely be I told you so. I told her so. Yep. Like Ricky likes to say on Trailer Park Boys. I fucking told her so.
Again, it's so creepy how it just goes from music to sound effects and just nothing. All you hear is air. It's like low humming. It's like that.
They got to change that tire while the infected are closing in on them. Like, God, it's so intense.
Keep changing. We will tell you what we see. Keep changing the tire. Exactly. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's like you've left the tire change part just to the little girl. It's like,
come on.
They just got past the cars now and they're getting very close. And now they're munching on my neck.
I like that. How they filmed those aren't digital rats. How the fuck they film that?
But you know what's fucked up? If this was Ebola, if this was used as to piggyback off Ebola is transmissible to all mammals. So the idea that a monkey could spread it to a human could easily spread it to a rat, rats could easily spread it to humans, dogs, cats, they would all be susceptible to the rage virus.
That's probably a couple digital rats right there.
Birds and shit probably not. But Ebola is contagious to other mammals.
Yeah.
So
quick, we need a ride.
Wasn't that like also the point end like of every single virus in human history, even a zombie virus? Humans eventually will adapt to a virus.
Yeah, I mean that's why I'm kind of excited for this new one because we're gonna have like super sentient, supersized mutants, mutant infected. But you would think here's an idea. Let's say we can't change the tire. Let's quickly just like get in the car. Crouch down, stay out of sight, roll up the windows, and just shut the fuck up. And maybe they'll just run past us. Like, I don't know.
True. Yeah,
they're not. Unless there's something where they can, smell you or hear your heartbeat or some shit, But I mean, it just seems like it'd be easy to, zombies are after us. Quick, duck into this building right here, and
Screw it. I'm driving with a bad tire if I have to.
What?
That would be.
No, okay. What do you guys worry about? Like you're ruining your rim? I mean, you can still drive a car with 3 good tires.
And worst case scenario, get into another fucking car. I'm sure there are plenty of running cars you could just break into, hot wire. This is the scene right here that not only it's just a great levity scene. That's why Walking Dead sucks, because there's no levity like this. But this is the first time I heard Granddaddy, and this is like one of my favorite bands. They just came out with a new album a couple years ago.
I will say with the scene with the tires, though, remember, never underestimate the power of when fear is running and also adrenaline in your body, people don't always think. That's why. It's just...
Well, that's the thing about choosing another car. Wouldn't the tires have like deflated over time? Wouldn't rotten a little bit?
It's only 28 days.
I mean, it's been 4 weeks. So
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It hasn't been that long.
Yeah.
The batteries have died out by the time I
20 days?
No, 28 days.
No, batteries,
your battery
years.
fine.
Yeah. Most of the stuff in this store is totally good to eat. They show that there's some produce that's gone bad, and probably some meat. A lot of the meat, probably.
I mean, how many canned goods? The expiration date's like 3 or 4 years down the road.
But that's the thing is like the meat's refrigerated, so a lot of it probably might still be good.
True, yeah.
Or at least
the
a lot
whiskey
of
will
the
still
cooked
be
meat.
good, though. Obviously, that's still
4 weeks.
Yeah.
4 weeks ain't that long. It ain't that long. So most of this is
I've eaten
absolutely
worse.
fine.
And here's the thing, like, let's say some of the food is kind of spoiling. You can technically eat that shit.
All that candy, that's just pure sugar. That sugar ain't going bad.
You'd be surprised what the human body is capable of digesting, you know?
Well, and mostly what they're grabbing is they're grabbing canned goods. They're not grabbing bread and produce.
Well, you get tin goods as well. Tin goods last for a fucking long while.
And then it's such a great part when he just leaves the card there. It's so good. And but yeah, this song, it's funny. This is actually one of my least favorite Granddaddy songs. They've got awesome music. It's like
it allows the characters to be people and not survivors. People just hanging out with each other for a little bit, enjoying some.
Yeah, I mean, Bush ain't wrong. I definitely don't advocate Coca-Cola. I've never done that substance.
Cocaine.
I do.
It does not.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, this is where we get to see Cillian Murphy's first kill, and it's a child.
All
Who
right,
says I hate you? Yeah, like I never realized that.
Turn this up.
Yeah, that is one of the few moments that still stays with me.
I'm just happy
when I first saw this movie, and then I was asleep, and I woke up, and I kept thinking that this all was actually happening, and then I woke up later, and I was like, "Oh shit, what was wrong with me? I must have been really fucking."
I'm just laughing on the whole panel. Like Lucas, Cillian Murphy's first kills a child. Like almost you're excited about it. Like,
oh yeah, Nick. Yeah, I agree. The human body can digest anything, raw potatoes,
including a human child.
Damn, that's good gasoline.
Yeah, he should have swallowed some of that. Got a nice buzz on.
I mean,
that's some good petrol, man. That's some good petrol. Don't waste it.
I did think this was kind of funny. She's like kind of like saying, it needs to be careful. And he's like, it's like being on a holiday with your aunt.
Yeah.
Any cheeseburgers?
They don't have any. Yeah, we don't have any cheeseburgers. Yeah, I just want to go look around. This is also one of those things where like you're gonna learn eventually. Like Selena already knows. Don't go looking around random buildings by yourself because the infected. I guess what happens is when they don't get stimulated by anything, they just kind of hibernate and just kind of rest. Like
I mean, that would make sense though.
Kind of like you're dying of a virus. You're kind of just like you're bedridden. It's kind of like rabies, where like you're really thirsty and you want to drink something and you're sick, but as soon as the water gets near you, you start like freaking out, because it's hydrophobia.
Well, what do we know about like being really angry? It's like the downtime for angry is brooding. So if you're either raging or you're brooding. So really, these kids are just sitting there in their thoughts, like thinking about death. They're just emoing out.
If I had a tablet or a mobile phone, I wouldn't be this angry.
Jesus.
I guess these people just killed themselves here, or the food was bad.
Yeah. Hello.
Look at it. Why do you think we didn't want to live anymore?
All right. Yeah. Here we go.
Bastard.
I didn't kill myself.
Yep. Get him.
That kid will probably grow up to be a TikTok influencer anyway, so yeah.
That's true.
He was probably doing well.
Yeah, there it is. I hate you. I hate you.
Yeah.
See, part of me wonders if because you could take that one of two ways. Either he flat out said it, or it's just kind of like an artistic thing where you're overlapping that, like almost like this is like the internal emotion that he would be going through, but it's
it definitely looked like it was added in post,
Yeah, it's definitely ADR. Yeah, it's definitely ADR.
It does surprisingly make it more disturbing though.
Mm-hmm.
he really does, Boosh. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
That little boy was raised to hate white men.
I think the only thing that would be creepier is if the kid was just saying like "help me" while attacking you. You know, like
That
"help
would've
me,
been- yeah.
help me," but he's like, "It can't stop trying to kill you."
Well,
Yeah,
Alex
that's
Alex
not
Garland
good.
saved that for he saved that for Annihilation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Scotch is helping me, Bush.
Look, even back then, wind turbines were a thing.
Yeah, look
I mean,
how
they've always
useless
been-
they are.
They've always been a thing.
Wind
What's-
turbines
the thing is,
did it. No wonder the world
Wind
is shit.
turbines,
Yeah.
wind turbines are not useless, but the problem is like when you try to like we're gonna run the entire infrastructure on wind
Another
turbines.
shot
Yeah, that's
right here.
stupid.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
fucking.
You
you
drive-
want to generate?
You drive through Indiana on your way to Chicago.
Hmm.
There's like an hour's worth of driving where you see almost nothing on your sides but turbines.
Yeah,
Which
we
is
have a
funny
bunch of
'cause-
windmills out here in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get over the aesthetic very quickly. You're like, okay, I'm
No,
tired of
yeah,
looking at these
yeah,
things.
for sure. It's definitely very like sci-fi looking. You know, it's crazy,
Mm.
but yeah, you're out in the middle of the plains where it's very windy and you don't got a lot of shit growing. You can't do like water dams or like
Stop talking
electro
about full
dams.
douchebag. You're like,
But this has to be very cathartic as well. You're driving down this motorway with no other cars. It's just quiet and peaceful.
yeah.
There's nothing
Yeah.
there. You can speed along it, no worries.
Mm.
Oh yeah, that's a great question. Where he asked, "Do you think they're
Wind
infected?"
turbines suck
Meaning,
dick.
Do you think they're infected?
she asked, like, meaning, like, yeah, they've probably heard reports about infected animals.
No, you're right.
You know,
Rage.
Like,
Well, it's like,
they're
you said, it's like you said, and so it's like how different mediums. It's only humans, but then other mediums you have like zombie dogs, or zombie horses, or zombie. It depends on what movie you're going for. Because sometimes it's like
I
It-
think
it
when
wa-
it's supernatural, it should be only humans, like
Yeah.
in Dawn of the Dead, where they just ignore dogs. They don't even want to kill animals. That's interesting. But yeah, when it's like a rage virus, like yeah, nothing is safe.
Mm.
You know, a virus. You know,
yeah, that's definitely the Resident Evil series. I mean, you got freaking like zombie crows, and shit. Like it affects everything, not just humans. Like
yeah.
I don't like the little twist in Days Gone where the infected can survive on berries and fucking fruits and not just human flesh as well.
supposedly
Yeah.
they're finally seriously considering making a Days Gone sequel. It's like the fucking fans love Days Gone. I mean, I want to.
Days Gone. I've actually played a bit of that recently, and
Yeah.
it's fun. My only thing is they have got to write better dialogue for the dialogue. is
I agree.
Horrendous in that game.
Gord, you're right. I mean, and I love Sam Witwer. Some of Sam Witwer, some
It's
of
not his fault. It's just bad dialogue.
no,
and they're
no, yeah.
and they're constantly
Exactly.
wanting him to say it in every single sequence.
Exactly,
It's just
yeah.
like, can you let these characters be quiet for a little while
No,
and
I agree.
write better stuff for them? It's like,
Well, the
ugh.
biggest appeal for Days Gone was like kind of the first game where it's like you fight like a horde of like 200 zombies at a time, and that's what was so epic. But no, Gord, you're right about the dialogue. But I still want to see a sequel.
Oh
you know
yeah,
how many-
because the actual
just don't like
game
the characters.
in better hands like could be like a
Oh.
10 out of 10. It's a really good
agree.
game.
I think there
Yeah.
has been a petition to get a sequel done right now, and it's
Oh,
looking like it may happen.
they've been petitioning that Luke for the past like 7-8 years, and they're finally getting some really good traction. Because the problem is like any kind of business, it didn't sell as much as they wanted, but the fan base loves it though. It's
Mhm.
well,
It's a
soon.
good game.
No,
it's a
I
good
definitely,
game.
It's a
I'm
great
gonna stream.
game.
I'm gonna stream it. At
I
some
do
point.
like the
Gord did, too.
characters. I do like the story. Yeah, the dialogue could have been polished a little bit more, but it's got some really good ideas and I
Yeah.
like some themes in it as well.
Well, I think
Oh,
everyone
the
knows
nightmare scene.
Sam Witwer is such an underrated actor, man. God, poor guy.
Oh no, actually, this is the drug scene. Never mind. This is
It's
the
the
nightmare scene.
Valium
happens.
scene or
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
come on, let's live
it's
a
called
little.
it's called
This
Days
is
Gone.
crystal meth when I was 10, so
At some
I'm
point,
okay.
at some point, I'll stream it next because
She's
it's
like,
a great
Selena,
game.
ah!
it's called
Grabs a
Gaze
machete.
Done.
How did you go to sleep?
How
Yeah,
do you
lady.
go to sleep so easily?
I loved that. He just woke her up and she's like, what? He's like, I didn't sleep so easily.
Got a bunch of fucking pharmaceuticals, drug. I got uppers, downers, psychotropics.
Yep, and this time she's using it for medicinal purposes.
Yeah.
Not only will we be able to sleep, but if we get attacked in the night, we won't care. Not for me. Have her off on one. My daughter.
Give her half a one.
Please, Dad, I want to get high with my friends.
I mean, who doesn't? Yeah, you know, it's always funny. Parents go through that shit too, like in different post-apocalyptic movies where my kid's 16 or something, 14, I can give him alcohol. Listen, Consider what's out there. Give your kid some whiskey, guys.
He says give her half of one. I'll be
on.
damned.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
probably good enough.
Oh, half of one will definitely that'd be effective for her.
Dude, you ever take a Xanax, bro? You feel like you drank like 240 ounces, man. It's
I've
like
heard
I'm
things,
fucking
Enzo.
feeling litty.
I've heard.
It's like,
Yeah.
I don't like doing that shit.
Well, that's how I felt after my last surgery for my stomach. They gave me oxys, and like I took one, and the feeling for oxys, I get why people could get addicted, but I do not like the feeling of oxys. Like
It makes my face
don't-
itchy whenever I've been prescribed pain pills. You know, I get real
Yeah.
itchy in the face. Like I can't stop. Like
what's weird is for some reason I have a massive tolerance to hydrocodones. Hydrocodones, I can pop like 20 and just feel nothing. It don't work on me, but oxys work on me. I don't understand it, but you know.
I think I have
Oxys,
a
they-
morphine allergy because when I did get morphine when I broke my ankle, I fucking
Yeah.
vomited so violently.
I went to when I first dislocated my shoulder. They said, Chris, we've given you the legal limit. If we give you any more morphine, it's gonna be deadly. And like they kept giving me morphine, and it wasn't working. I'm like, guys, I just told them, I was like, listen, just give me a hammer. I'll knock myself the fuck out because I couldn't pop my shoulder back in the socket. Like this isn't Mel Gibson,
Such
Lethal
a great
Weapon too,
nightmare.
Gord. The whole cracking your arm into a wall doesn't work
Yeah.
in real life. I tried it. Like
Oh,
I'm like
God, you
I'm sitting there,
idiot.
my arm was limp. I was, you know what? Well, you know what? Mel Gibson did it. It must work, right? And I kept
See,
knocking
I always took it that he's being kind of sarcastic when he says, "Oh, thanks, Dad." You know.
I think it's just him being groggy, like not being in a full.
Oh yeah, Valium. Yeah, he's
waking
how
state, he's got the
high on
Valium.
drugs. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
possible.
Brendan Gleeson could be my fucking surrogate dad. I don't care.
Yeah.
I've had a dream like that before. I'm like screaming hello, but it's like I'm waiting on tech support. It's a little bit.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, morphine's a weird drug, Boosh.
Nice. As far as like I think doing Xanax, I think that was like one of the only times I've blacked out. I don't think Jam's joking. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like I think the only times I've ever blacked out is when I was like, you know, someone's like, "Hey, take half of the Xanax, bro." I was like, "What the fuck happened last night?" I just remember watching a movie and then waking up in bed. It's like
I never blacked. The only time I blacked out was when we did heavy metal on Gooch's channel because I don't remember any of that stream at all. But
I highly doubt that's the only time you blacked out.
I
You
can
black
remember-
out so hard you don't even remember blacking out.
It's only a whole liter of vodka.
You just kind of like find yourself behind the wheel of a bus, and you're just like, "Oh, I guess I'm at work now."
It may have happened once, but
Yeah, if Blue doesn't have a segment of his life that's just missing, like it's an awakened comatose or something, I would be very surprised.
I tell people they're like, dude, you never get sick. I'm like, I'd be right. I never get sick.
It'd be funny if Blue Collar was actually like Bruce Willis, like unbreakable, you know, like he doesn't even realize like he's invulnerable and shit.
What's the thing? It's like, you know, even like healing. Like, I mean, I'm not Wolverine healing, but they always say like, well, Chris, you've been work for 3 months. After 2 weeks, I'm like, I'm ready back for work. They're like, how did you heal so fast? I'm like, I don't know. I don't have a special diet. Just
Because you're drunk a lot. That's why. I mean, your body's not as tense, so it's like a big cushion.
But even after my
Shields you
surgeries,
from
like, I
that
mean, I
impact.
have had surgeries, but I healed disturbingly fast. Even my doctors always like, you heal really quick. Like, I don't know.
Dude, I
it's-
just love how so much of this is filmed like a music video, you know. In fact, Danny Boyle, I think he got to start doing music videos, didn't he? Or no?
I think so.
I know he
I
did
know
Shallow
I know
Grave,
It does,
I know
Shallow
David
Grave,
Fincher did.
Train Spotting, but
yeah,
most
it does
directors
have a
either
music
it's
video
absolute.
feel.
Yeah, but most directors, especially the 20th, 21st century, early days, you know, before the whole internet, most filmmakers got their start either doing short films, commercials, or music videos.
Now, I wonder if
he directed Lust for Life.
Oh, awesome!
He did,
Okay.
the Iggy Pop.
I just wonder if like choir music is copyrighted. Like, oh,
But did he do that because it was featured in the movie, or did he do that before? Trainspotting?
He might have. He probably did because it's right
Yeah.
London is
alongside it.
Burning.
Yeah.
So I mean, he had already done Shallow Grave before Train Spotting.
Yeah.
Okay, there we are. Shallow
Yeah, 'cause
Grave.
he
you
started
say?
with TV.
Oh, another way. Yeah,
You call
you
Bush.
could start, you know, being a assistant director, or you work your way up the ladder in other smaller projects or movies or whatever. That's another way you get into the
Manchester.
director chair.
Yeah, so they aren't even in the north yet. They're still in the Midlands. They're getting
God,
close to the Midlands.
So
Anyway.
they're far away from you, huh? So how far is this from your place, Luke? A couple hours?
From London to Manchester, it's about 8 hours by car.
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Eight
And it's
hours.
funny because
My
it's only like
God.
what 100 miles or some
Oh my
bullshit.
god!
Yeah, it depends where you go. Anyway, it's
Yeah, 100 miles would take me like an hour to get to my destination.
hours away in Texas is like Austin to El Paso. It's like 500 miles. You know,
you got to factor in traffic and all that.
Exactly.
Stopping off at the set. Stopping off somewhere just to take a break before you
the noon teen time, you know.
Yeah.
God bless the Queen.
Oh yeah, that's another reason why it takes forever. You have to pull over every couple hours for tea.
Yeah, and the fucking migrants bombing people as well, so you got to take a few detours. So.
Every car in England has one of these fucking like plug-in kettle heater, boil water heaters. So you can make your fucking tea.
They should call it Womanchester, guys.
You open up the middle compartment, it's like a China set with teacups and shit. It's like standard issue in every English car.
Yeah, we don't get that in the north. The fucking southerners probably do, though. The fucking Cockneys, anyway.
It's Manchester.
It's Manchester. We say, Nix, humans are 7% water bestial. 69% sugar, 1% alcohol. The rest is just more sugar. I haven't had sugar so far this entire year.
Everything you drink has sugar or some kind of sugar derivative in it. Just because it's fucking diet or zero does not mean it. You know, there's some kind of sweetener in everything you drink.
Look, I'm drinking Sprite zero sugar. Okay.
Do you know there's also sugar in all the fucking potato chips and
zero sugar?
Oh yeah.
There's but what is it sweetened with?
Look at bread.
There's a sweetener in there.
I don't know.
Exactly.
And here's the thing: all alcohol contains some sugar.
Right. That's the other thing. The alcohol has sugar as well. Yes, it is. Yes,
all
it
of
does.
it. Like literally all of it.
You know
it's
what?
literally essential to make it alcoholic.
It's not nutritional facts.
Oh, God.
Nutritional facts don't care about my feelings.
There's nothing on this label in this vodka that says alcohol contains alcohol.
What?
Alcohol is made with sugar.
Why would it tell you alcohol contains alcohol? That's redundant.
Exactly.
Yes, so they're at the fucking place now, and there's no one there. Yep. It's like they've travelled all those miles for nothing. It's like Alton Towers all over again.
All alcoholic drinks contains sugar, but you know, beer. Like if you had beer, you know, there's less sugar in that, but there's carbs. You know, so
yeah. I just hate when a label says like, you know, you shouldn't operate cars or heavy machinery while drinking this stuff. Boy,
yeah, that's why I operate it an hour after I've drank it.
I want to take these pictures of Cillian Murphy, but then put like the Scrubs logo on it.
Oh my God.
Like it's a really weird episode of that show.
Yeah. This is one of the dumbest ways to get infected. It's one of those things where as soon as that drop hits your eyeball, you're like, dude, like I could. He says he's literally telling the bird, like, stay out of it. He's telling the bird, leave it alone. And he's not even like following his own advice, you know?
Imagine, like, and of all the ways you get infected, a fucking drop in my eyeball. Like, come on, man.
But that's like the best because it really shows you like just one drop of blood will get you in minutes. And you're just like, oh, I'm sorry.
Man.
I would have fucking gouged. I would have gouged my eye out right then and there, just pop it out and be like, fuck.
Yeah, like this is a scene where I have like an equal amount of respect for the scene, but also a dislike for it because it's very unlikely that would happen, and it takes him being kind of stupid to make it happen, but at the same time, it is really effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of they show you like even someone is careful and is you know, you can get infected just like that, you know, just mind your own business.
Again, and also they said too, the fact that what like 4 seconds, the fucker's like turning already.
Like they're realizing like he was left alone. Somehow he got infected. There's no infected running around, you know.
Yeah.
And it takes them a minute to even understand what the hell's happening.
Dude, he's dead.
You know?
Holy shit! They shot him like 19 times.
It's like, guys, he was just mad that McDonald's ice cream machine was down.
See, yeah, in an original draft of the script, he was supposed to be captured right here, like subdued. And then they, you know, a big part is like, how do we cure this guy, you know?
Yeah, they meet this guy who's just been hiding in his fucking lab for God knows how long, and he advises them on what to do. And yet, like we said, you drain every fucking vein and of the person's blood to transfer it. It's very convoluted and stupid.
I mean, I guess the concept is like a full-blown blood transfusion, I suppose. But yeah, it's like that'd be really extensive.
Yeah, and plus, how are you going to kill the fucking person before you even cure him? It's so yeah, I'm glad they left out and they just brought this whole soldier storyline in. It's not. It does. I think the first half of this film is still the best, though, but the second half is still better than the alternative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah. What are you gonna do? I mean, you can't just like wander apartment complex forever. This is what's gonna happen. Damn military.
I think Christopher Eccleston's performance is really interesting because he comes off very likable, and even like as he's turning more, as you're seeing the mask come off more and more, he doesn't get like mustache twirly or everything. He has very practical reasons why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah, he does come across very sympathetic and empathetic, understanding, and
it's like he's a monster, but it's like it's a monster you could kind of understand how he got there.
Oh yeah, he is very underrated. He's probably one of the more underrated villains.
Recognize this guy.
It's all foreshadowed, brilliant. Because first of all, you got when they first find him, they say, "Hey, I repeat, 1 male, 2 female." Like that's important. And then I was also reading today that this big, what's it called? I think they're going to show it right now. But like Christopher Eccleston just kind of immediately like, "Hey, your father figure is dead, and I'm here to just immediately supplant that character right now."
I mean, butt cheeks are okay, right? Oh, wasn't sure.
No, and butt cheeks are not okay. You'll get You'll get
these soldiers.
It's just butt cheeks. Damn it! Sure, YouTube.
I didn't see any butt cheeks that you shared.
No, I'm saying I wanted to. I want to see more butt cheeks.
Why do you?
I shared butt cheeks one time on one of my first videos, and they were like, it got the 18 and up only.
Really? It's come on. We all got butts.
I mean, we do. That doesn't mean we want to see them.
Yeah, we all have nipples. You can't show those.
Well, I got nipples.
Half of us have vaginas.
No, but yeah, here's where Selena starts losing her shit because she was saying earlier, like,
hey, buddy,
the reason why these two characters are not so affected by the virus is because they have each other, their mom and the daughter and dad.
Yeah. And
she's saying like, I realize like being alive isn't just as best as good as it's going to get. And and it's like, now it's like, what's her name is just, she's lost everything and it's all fucked. Yeah. That's another great line I love from this movie. It's not all fucked. Like that's something you realize like,
because she's not being so detached now. She actually is breaking down. She actually is grieving the loss of this guy who she got to know.
He's not racist.
She grew to respect.
He's pulling the old monster's ball. Oh, no,
yeah. Well, she does kind of look like Halle Berry in that movie. So, yeah.
Wow.
She's good looking. She's good looking. You could do a lot worse in an apocalypse.
I knew we had to reference Monsters Ball of all movies.
Yeah, God, that movie's depressing, but God, man.
It's one of the best sex scenes ever.
Oh my God, it is. And it's so gross because Billy Bob.
Oh, you make me feel good. Oh, you make me feel good. And then Billy Bob bends her over a couch and fucks her doggy style.
Yep.
There's a rumor that they were actually having sex in that scene. There's rumors they actually had
Billy Bob.
Down.
Billy Bob bangs everybody. Come on, he's banging. He's away. Like,
yeah, he's fucked a lot of fat chicks, but never.
Dude, we gotta watch Bad Santa.
So the fire in Manchester has
this Christmas. Come on, man.
The fire in Manchester has caused all the infected to leave the city, like draw them outwards, and the forest is like teeming with infected. It's like that's not good.
Yeah, that's bullshit. That's Manchester. Let's stay there if the place was on fucking fire anyway.
Nice. Yeah.
I think Billy Bob's best performance is Fargo, though. I think his season 1 of Fargo, he's unbelievably good in that.
Yes, Jacob, that is Moneypenny. The Daniel Craig movie.
Daniel
Craig movies.
She is also Tia Dalma in Pirates of the Caribbean.
These are great wipe transitions, like wipe scene, pan wipes.
Yeah, I'll give Naomi Harris credit. Even with those fucking grotty teeth, I still would. In Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, it's funny because with Gord recommended TV shows, I said with a Gord man, Hannibal. I was a mess. I'm glad I'm not the only person who loved Hannibal because I'm watching the show. I'm like Mads Mikkelsen is so good in this show.
He's awesome.
Mads Mikkelsen is fucking good in everything.
He really is.
Marvel wasted him in Doctor Strange.
Oh Christ!
Yeah.
I'm preparing a feast of rotten eggs.
No, because I mean I watched Red Dragon too, and then I watched Mads Mikkelsen version of Red Dragon. His version was way more sinister, man. Like,
oh yeah, like the best like singular performance is still Anthony Hopkins, Silence of the Lambs, but I overall think Mads Mikkelsen is the better Hannibal Lecter. There's just more. just way more of him being great at
And the
it.
biggest thing is because at first, like many people, I just didn't give the show a chance because I'm like, they're just gonna make some shitty, TV show prequel. Then I find binge on Netflix. And I'm like, man, he doesn't copy Anthony Hopkins. He makes it his own. And I love that, man.
Why do you think I'm drunk all the time, Nix?
Hey, Nev's a good looking guy. Come on. I'll definitely
Blue collar waking up every morning.
He's not wrong.
Like, Blue,
Vomiting
you're not
mountains
even
of
infected with rage. Stop.
Well,
no, too. Chris,
well,
you're
in
happy.
Hull,
You're happy
this is
drunk.
how you know you're fucking not ill.
Yeah.
If you're not puking up blood, you go to a fucking doctor, all right? Same thing if you're shitting blood.
Yeah. And the cool part too is because the makeup design, yes, it's just mostly red contacts and just some makeup, but it's just like, again, just you can tell with the limited resources they had, it feels, I don't know, the makeup job is better on this than most high production
Dude,
movies.
it's such a simple job. You just put red eye contacts in them and cover them in blood.
Yeah.
And just make them look good, dirty, and it's fucking awesome.
That's the thing
No, I
with
agree,
horror.
yeah.
Sometimes the most simple approach is
Definitely.
the best.
Hey, Rachel, here. So too bad.
I mean, the
Chris-
red eyeballs.
Hey, Rachel.
Hey, Rachel.
I
Red
think it would only
eyeballs.
be. I think the red irises are a little science fictiony, but it would be better if like the whites of your eyes just turned like bloodshot, like you've been strangled.
Yeah.
Like that would also be creepy. But the red eyes are just like so. This is not your ordinary virus type thing,
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
But that's
like,
what happens with
makeup
Ebola.
and-
Your eyes, you do start bleeding from your eyes with Ebola and your ears, and you bleed from all your orifices. You bleed internally and externally. You start getting like lesions too.
I was looking Outbreak with Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
Man. I tell you,
Outbreak was fucked up.
when I was a kid, when I was like a teenager, it came out. That movie was me. That's a horror movie. Outbreak. That movie freaked me
No,
out.
totally. And that's like, that would be something I'd be very terrified of
Yeah.
in 28 Days Later world would be like, what if it jumps to airborne? Like, what if it mutates and becomes airborne,
I know
that
you guys
would be
probably seen it.
bad.
I think the scariest scene in Outbreak was when the fucking dude was in a theater and he sneezes and you see in slow motion all 3D, like all the particle effect.
That's a
all
little
come around.
silly,
It's
but
like,
yeah.
but still, it's
It's
just
like,
the
you see
horror,
like the guy laughing, ha ha ha.
and it goes into
like,
his
the particles
mouth
are
and
going
you're
like right in his mouth
"Oh."
and shit.
Yeah. It's like,
I like the fact that Chris Eccleston's character is still dressing up for the occasion, even when the well's gone to shit.
Yeah.
We're going to eat an omelet, a feast. And he's like, do you know these eggs are off? Now, the thing is, if these were real eggs in shells, they would not go bad. But because they're probably like cartoned eggs, like egg product, like, they expire. Once they get out of the shell keeps eggs like sterile. So eggs only lose nutritional value. They can get old, but they can't go
The
bad.
guy who
You
cooks
can't
them,
get-
he's not really a full-on like psycho. He's just this fucking dweebo was in the army,
No,
but
right.
he probably hasn't seen real combat yet. Maybe I don't know.
No, but that's what they say. It's like, dude, we need a fucking woman in the kitchen because this
Yeah.
motherfucker can't cook.
That's what. Women are best in the kitchen.
yeah,
You
you got the
call them-
guy who's also
you
got the really
Muppet.
bad haircut as well. He's
British
got like
people-
patches in his head because he can't fucking shit because
Yeah,
he
I
hasn't
love-
got a proper barber on hand.
I
I love how when a
slang.
British,
You
when British
Muppets.
people call you an asshole or a cunt or a fucker, that's fine.
Yeah,
but when they call you a Muppet,
it's like, you
when they call you a Muppet-
for Marks and Spencer's to open, isn't he?
if they call you a Muppet or a donkey, Gordon Ramsay, when he calls you a donkey, he wants you dead. He's so mad at you if he calls you a Muppet or a donkey.
I was watching the menu with
We get away
Ray
with the word
Fiennes.
cunt more than Americans can for some reason.
Exactly.
I
Well,
don't
everyone
know
knows
why.
you can never hit the boys, but freaking Carl Urban, when he says the C word, man, it's so funny when he does it. Like,
Us Northerners, we fucking emphasize the U in cunt. Like, you
Yeah.
cunt.
Kunt.
it's a two U's, Kunt.
Fucking cunt.
Again, YouTube, he's British, so he can say it. So
I feel like this isn't the first time Christopher Eccleston has given this little speech. People
and
killing people.
eventually, like, I love one of my favorite scenes in the film Fury with Brad Pitt. I love that scene where they're sitting there just having the eggs and they're just eating like and cutting it. It's something about this way. Brad Pitt sitting there having his one egg and cutting it and having the knife and the fork, and I don't know.
I am really looking forward to Carl Urban as Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat.
You know
2.
what, Gord? I seen the poster.
I
And
want to
again,
see that.
I'm one of those people. I think he's too old, but it's also.
I don't
Carl
freaking
Urban.
care. I don't
Exactly.
care.
No,
I want to
exactly.
see
Like,
Dread 2 for fuck's sake. Come on, bring out Dread 2.
I don't want to talk about.
I mean, I would obviously rather see Dread 2. It's probably not going to
Yeah.
happen. But if him as him in Mortal Kombat, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
totally, I'm totally down to see his version of Johnny Cage.
I seen the post yesterday. He looks so freaking good. And I'm like, I do get like, I wish they would have picked someone younger, but I'm like, I don't. It's Carl Urban. He can do no wrong.
Yeah,
he doesn't look. I mean, he's not looking old, so it's fine.
I know, but just for the action sequence,
so the guy who's the chef in here, you can probably tell he has not been in battle because when he takes one down, it's like, oh my god, I fucking got one! I got one!
Yeah, no, actually, I do. I'm looking forward to Mortal Kombat for this year.
Yeah, these rifles, they do not use them in the British Army anymore, apparently.
No, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah,
you can earn the numbers of use in British Landia.
Since Toxic isn't here, I'll have to use some fucking army shit myself now.
Exactly, goes. You fix everybody.
I can.
Nice sequence. So again, for a budget of this is a great action sequence for this.
Fucking hell! Fucking hell!
Oh yeah, that's true. Fucking Brits. I've been doing that. Like fucking hell, I shot him in the balls and all.
I shot that whole I shot that whole fancy cup of tea, then, right? What's all this? Right? Fucking hell!
I actually like this actor as well. Check him out in
and
It'd be like the most confusing radio chatter to like eavesdrop on.
Look at his fucking finger on the trigger. Trigger discipline's terrible. Now here's something I read today that I didn't know. This big statue thereby is the statue of Laocoon from Virgil, and he's the guy who was warning the Greeks about the Trojan horse. Or he was warning about the Trojan horse, saying the Greeks, I wouldn't trust a gift even from the Greeks, basically foreshadowing that these military people are going to, backstab them.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It's symbology or symbolism or something like that.
It's wombology.
Yeah, exactly.
Laocoon. That's how you pronounce that.
Laocoon dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that rifle they used was something that came out in 1985.
Yeah.
Ended in 19.
Yeah, Bush definitely. I mean, I had issues with the recent one, but also like Scorpion was so badass, man. In the last,
it was great, but honestly, Kano's the best thing about the movie. It's a shame they killed him. Kano's
right.
Great in
he's
that
really
movie.
good. Yeah. I was happy with
I like Kano as a bad guy. I don't like him when they.
He was a bad guy by the end.
I know,
they should have kept him alive.
But I don't like how they try to entertain him as a good guy. He should be a straight bad guy. Who's
I don't mind it because I like the idea of him kind of trying to play up both sides. I don't think they ever really full on made him a good guy. They were just like, well, we've got to use him. He's got the thing on him. So.
My big problem with Mortal Kombat, no Mortal Kombat. Remember, it's all fucking stupid.
Yeah, there wasn't nearly enough. Like, there was like the gore and stuff was cool.
There
is no tournament, and you just got some nobody killing Goro in his garage. It's fucking stupid.
Cole
I mean, it's got problems now. I agree with that. Yeah. But
Cole's the worst thing about the movie by far.
Because I love the dude from Shogun. He's so good at Scorpion. I love.
Oh yeah, he was great. Like the beginning of the movie was amazing.
Yeah,
the beginning of that movie freaking rocks.
That's why I'm hoping for part 2. They
yeah, but it's like Boba Fett, Scorpion and Sub-Zero work better as badass like side characters who got their own little story going. But when you make them like the main attraction, it's not as cool. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's like kill Cole in the first 5 minutes, kill him very, very horribly, like he deserves, and then just focus the movie on Johnny Cage primarily. That could be great.
Bush, I 100% agree with you that Cole was the worst part of that film.
Like Scorpion, he's just like Boba Fett or Wolverine. He's a mysterious backstory guy, but when you find out about his backstory, it makes him less interesting.
Yeah,
he's just a specter. He's a specter from the Netherrealm, dude.
It's a give him a backstory, but when you over-explain it, it's just like, nah.
Yeah, you could give him backstory after he's already like killed a bunch of people and he's really scary, You know what? When he takes that fucking mask off and he's got like a skull, you realize like, holy shit, what the hell is this game? What is this fucking tournament here?
I agree.
Because women mean a future.
Women mean a future.
He's not wrong, though.
Yeah, so they're going to impregnate.
Well, they mean a future unless you let them vote.
Well.
Yeah, so I never said there was the cure. When I say there was a cure for infection, an answer to infection, it's that we're gonna have a bunch of breeders.
I mean, she is. Yeah, she probably hit her period by now, guys. I mean,
women. It says women mean a future until you let them vote.
Yeah. I saw a great meme. Where it's like, when the founding fathers wrote the Second Amendment, they didn't imagine modern guns. He's like, yeah, well, when we wrote the 19th Amendment, we didn't imagine modern women.
And that one's far more true.
Oh god, it's
So
true.
these guys are willing to fucking rape a 14-year-old as well. It's these
What?
guys are fucking.
No, it's consensual. She's willing.
Guys, it's not about
drug effects, before it's consensual. But
well, what's fucked up is like, this guy is like, he's kidnapping these women under the impression that they will be, mothers to future kids, but these other guys just want to get their rocks off.
no.
It's like they just want to commit the carnal sin. They just want to have a.
What's funny is
up to a fucking underage girl as well. That's
They're
messed
gonna-
up.
they're
These guys
gonna-
are
I have
both
a-
these guys. They don't.
I have a joke
They're gonna-
along these lines in my next movie. I just don't want to give it away because it's one of my
Oh.
favorite jokes in the video.
Well,
Give it
like
away,
the
give it
idea,
away.
like so this guy in charge of them, he like these soldiers start graping these two women, and then they
Very
pull
last year.
out, and the guy's like, "What the fuck, dude? Like, what is the whole point of kidnapping these women, right?"
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no.
Yeah, come on, we
I
could
was-
have little twin
They're watch-
babies. With
they're watching the
mixed
fucking
mixed
Simpsons there.
DNA. You know.
Also, what's going to happen when more women show up? Because like more people hear that radio message and they show up down the line, and all the women there are pregnant. Like they're going to start.
Yeah, that fucking
like
cause
this.
all the hot women
Okay,
from
see,
Dumb and
difference
Dumber
between-
show up.
See,
Going,
difference between-
hallelujah.
good writing, because nowadays though the problem is with certain people. That's why I never pick sides for. They would say this is like woke because it's so anti-man. Like, no, this is what dudes would do in apocalypse, guys. Like, I'm sorry.
I don't think it's
Yeah,
anti-manly
yeah.
at all. It's just if you're left in a situation with no women and you're gonna.
Well,
I mean, shoot, you can go on any stream with a good-looking girl and you see how how quickly the simpery starts. I mean,
Yeah.
for crying out loud. So
That's
imagine
why-
a situation where you haven't
hilarious.
seen one for 4 weeks.
That's why I'm friends with Vex for.
Yeah. Well, this is the first time we have a the opposite viewpoint that maybe he's got this cynical idea that like the world is continuing as normal and we're over here suffering because the virus has been quarantined. And you think that sounds kind of crazy. That sounds crazier than the fact that the virus is spread worldwide.
Yeah.
But then later when he sees that plane, it's like it's all up in the air. You have no idea now.
yeah, 'cause the soldier actually says that the world is moving on while we suffer. He's the only good guy in it, and he kind of goes out like a
But-
fucking boss, doesn't he?
But early on, they make it a point to kind of discredit him and kind of say he's kind of a quack, and he's got these wild
Oh, yeah, they
harebrained
don't.
theories.
Yeah.
I think he's right though.
How long
Yeah,
until
he
my
ends up
stream,
being kind of a
Enzo?
fucking voice of reason out of all these psychos.
Nick's the We Watch for Heart Peeps is premiering pretty much like 10-20 minutes after this stream at 2:30. So about 45 minutes from now.
That's
And this movie's
1,000
got, like,
views, and
Yeah,
it'll
the
be
30
freaking around the
minutes
time Lance interviews
Man.
to drink with Jason
Yeah,
Fleming.
Jim's not wrong. See, this is before OnlyFans, okay? So this is when women were women.
I mean, this is only like a dozen guys. So, I mean,
Exactly.
by comparison,
Oh, yeah.
That's rookie numbers. Only a dozen in one day. Come
I
on.
can't believe that fucking woman actually has a husband and he's letting her know it. Are you Jesus
Wait,
Christ?
Are you serious?
it would be really funny if
Yeah.
like the rage
Oh.
virus was they developed it from studying like the effects of PMS and it's like it's basically just PMS stretched
Yeah,
out
yeah.
to a further extreme and they give it to everybody.
So there's always a basically
No.
irrational fucking women then on their period.
It's like when they're not chasing you, they're nagging. It's like
Nothing's
no.
wrong. Everything's fine.
Yeah, the affected don't kill people. They just start OnlyFans and start fucking 1,000 guys a day.
What's
They're
fucked up
weak.
is now I like to assume a lot of these bodies are infected, right? Most of them. These are all the fucking dudes who showed up for fucking help. They
You'd
didn't
think
bring
you
any
would, like,
women.
they'd set these guys on fire or something.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
didn't
but
bring
the
any
were
women with
fucking
them, so they're
frigid,
like,
so they thought,
"Oh,
fuck it, get rid of them."
yeah." It's like,
PMS
yeah, you want
zombies,
to
just tell them they're right. They'll go away. That's their weakness.
He said that C word again. That the coont. You fucking coont.
Oh, that was a trailer shot right there.
Good shot right here. I missed it.
Yeah, I like the fact that Cillian Murphy is not really much of a badass, but he fucking handles himself well
Yeah.
here, though.
And he loses
Wow.
his shirt from the razor wire.
Mhm.
Well, maybe the guy's not. a
And
soldier
he almost
either,
looks
so.
infected himself, though, because
Well, I mean, they make a pretty strong point of making him act like an infected
Yeah.
Yeah, they even, like I said, they film him even with that juddery slow motion style. So that way, like, you don't even know as an audience when you first watch it, is he infected or not, or what's going on with him, you know?
Yeah, well, that's the funny part. Like in different mythologies, people are infected, but they're just not like symptomatic.
But yeah, this is another one of my favorite parts of the movie. And again, like a lot of my favorite parts have no infected in it. You know, just him looking up and seeing this grainy, low budget looking zoomed in shot of an airplane.
Yeah.
Danny Boyle's like shooting this in his backyard through his own trees. But like not that shot, but this one right here where it's like ultra close up. I just love that.
Yeah.
And it's like,
that's where he starts to realize that okay, this soldier has a point. Is we probably are being fucking lied to, and there is hope of getting out of here.
Or not even that. It's just like it's just there's a plane in the sky. So I mean, not everyone is dead. You know, some people are out there doing stuff. You know, so
the zombies learn to fly.
Yeah, it's
a rage plane.
Yeah, there's obviously watching Top Gun and thought, hey, fucking, I'd like to do that as well.
It turns into kind of like an I Am Legend style situation. The zombies are like continuing life as normal. Expensive dresses, these are all right. I hate that accent so much.
Come on, I like my right victims to be all nicely dressed before I deprive them of their dignity.
Right. I want you to put on this fancy dress so I can rip it off, right?
Okay, she's doing the smart thing. She's kind of charming them with her sexuality.
Sure. Did you guys hear about that bank robbery in Brazil that was thwarted because the woman whipped out her huge titties for the robbers and they just left?
I'm gonna read that now. Oh my God.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I'd believe it. But yeah,
I don't need the money anymore. I've seen what I need to see.
It's like these guys. No, like, apparently these violent bank robbers were in here, like fucking, being real violent, crazy, and this woman just whipped out her titties and started shaking them for them, and they all just laughed and left.
Titties rule the world.
This is why feminism needs to let women be attractive.
It's like, please let us go. I'll let you motorboat these big things.
Yeah,
just don't hurt us.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, the moment the majority of women became ugly and fat is when crams.
I was gonna say, if she was 200 pounds heavier, this wouldn't work.
Sure it would.
Yeah, look at this guy who's got his like fucking patches on his head because I couldn't find a proper fucking barber.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right, we're just gonna give you a bunch of drugs.
Yeah.
Hey, man, if you're look, it'll be like going to a rave, like we're just.
Because she's been to a lot of raves at her age.
Dick rapes every fucking minute. But it makes sense. I mean, she's they know the fuck, so she's just trying to make it easier for her, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she should have said, "Hey, I'm not trying to kill her. I just want her to have a good time." You know what I'm saying? They would have been.
I want to make the consent thing a little easier.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm trying to make this easier for everybody.
Yeah. No harm, no foul.
In the pouring rain. That's what it's outside right now over here.
There we go. Yeah.
That is typical British fucking rain there.
Nice.
It's dumping buckets outside right now.
Who the hell
it looks good. It does look good cinematography.
Well, that's another thing about the digital. You can see every little. You can see like every little speck of water. Like especially when you do the high sped look.
But apparently, it's a pain in the ass to film as well.
For camera lens, yeah. I mean.
Well, so with digital, like what they're doing is they're filming it at 1600 frames per second.
Okay.
So and then when you play it, so you're supposed to film that for super slow motion, So, but then when you play it at normal speed, like Saving Private Ryan did, you get that great.
Who she thinks she is? Bill Cosby? God damn it!
I mean, that's another thing that's stupid, though. It's like, I kind of like the idea, like, why would you be firing? Like, you're attracting infected by firing the gun. I know, you're also wasting valuable ammo, Yeah. Even if you have a ton of fucking bullets, they are finite, So you got to be careful with all your all your bullets.
Yeah, it would almost make more sense for them to not take him very seriously. They don't
for no reason.
Yeah. Well, they figured
the amateurs use those fucking rifles anymore.
These are military trained guys. I mean, they're not taking some civilians seriously. Well,
The thing with these rifles they use is very different because you got the magazine behind the handle this time. So I don't know if that might have been another factor to why they don't want to use them anymore.
Got him.
Okay, I will say this: him putting him back in the car is kind of stupid. Where he just finds him in the car. I was like, why would you? Even
It comes across a little bit too.
It's kind of dumb. Yeah, it's like there's no use for that. It didn't enhance anything. It's just like,
yeah,
you picked him up and you put him back in the car. Why? That's stupid.
It was a message. It let him know, like, I'm a certified badass. I put him back.
Plus, I mean, that guy's quite a bit bigger than Cillian Murphy. That'd be a struggle, and it's a waste of time. It's like, really, what's it matter if he finds him dead in the car versus dead on the ground? Either way,
this music here.
He's toying with him.
This music here is great too. It reminds me for what is it? Portal. The soundtrack to Portal. That's what this kind of reminds me of. Portal 2.
Be mindful of female zombie boobs.
That got loud. Holy shit.
If you guys listen to the Portal soundtrack, there's one called Self-Esteem Loop.
Portal's great.
Self-Esteem Loop is such a great piece of music.
Careful,
you show titties. Be careful.
Zombie boobs, they don't count.
You idiot.
I don't think YouTube agrees with you there.
Yeah, I wonder if these two effective were aggressively shagging each other in the fucking forest before they had the gunshot.
What if they're zombies? Doesn't count, Luke. So zombies having sex doesn't matter.
Yeah, even the affected need to get their fucking kicks started when they're not ripping people apart.
We're not barbarians.
At least he didn't show any zombie beaver.
Coming up, though. I do love this tune that's coming up.
Yeah, put him in a dress. Why not? You know, make it less creepy. Yeah, it's more acceptable. She's in a dress, dude.
Until it's like the complaint about the young actress being kind of wooden is kind of highlighted here because her high on Valium acting isn't much different.
Yeah, it makes more sense here. Yeah, because she's fucking high, so she's kind of a little bit dazed out.
They should have just had her high the entire movie, and it would have been fine.
Sure, she's popping Valium every scene.
What happened to this?
My daughter's an addict.
Selena's like, is it just me?
Oh wow.
Yeah, Selena's like, is it just me, or am I losing like pills of these pills? Like, I feel like some of these pills are going missing. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what you mean. I haven't seen any of your pills.
Yep.
I want to bury my dad. He's one of the people you're talking about, right? Feel good.
Yeah, now the dialogue is like low as hell volume wise, and the action scenes kick up.
I don't think they are coming back.
Just like young.
Here's the big one. Here's the big trailer shot right here.
Yep.
Peekaboo.
You're gonna be dead too.
You're gonna be next.
And then fucking guy in the window.
Oh.
Whoa, that's a great part though. She's like high on Valium, like, whoa, infected. Okay.
I think he's all over. Get him off me.
Yeah, and I love how this this oh god. Yeah, you're infected just right there.
God, he's puking all over him. Jesus Christ.
Puking blood all over him too.
That's me. I'm a little karaoke.
Might be a few seconds ahead.
There you go, Luke.
Where the fuck are you going, eh? What sort of fucking shit?
Infected.
The fucking shot about.
And they are eating them. They're just aggressively fucking tearing them apart.
Exactly.
Well, what's funny is like out of all the scenes of murder, the most hardcore murder is the one Cillian Murphy does with the fucking gouging the dude's eyes out.
Yeah, and the second worst one is Selena to Mark.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Alien movies. Like in the Alien movies, you never see the xenomorph actually kill anybody, you know?
Oh.
Even though they do that, you know? Alien 3, I think, was the first time you ever saw a xenomorph like actually eating somebody.
And the only kind of, I mean, you could say it's like they sort of show the xenomorph kill someone because they show the one burst out of the chest, but that's, but as far as the full grown one, they don't show that.
Yeah. No.
That's not nasty.
But see, this is what I would do. Like, you hide in a cupboard or hide in a closet. Like, you know, zombies are infected. Like, I don't know. I think it's one of those things where you could hopefully wait it out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's making it
Yeah, I
fun
love
though,
that. Like,
sorry.
Yeah, just
so that like dreamlike idea of her like walking off into that dark hallway in the dress, you know? It's like, it's very cool.
I think as far as like, I think 28 Weeks Later, this sequence is a good example of learning the wrong lesson from a movie, because with the sequel, they knew how much people loved the way this scene and the song work together, and they tried really hard. They basically turned it into the theme song of the movie for 28 Weeks Later. And I'm like,
dude, not only that,
just
this
keep it as a one-off.
Look at this face.
Also,
right
this
there.
track. I mean, the track they're trying to
Yeah, it's
emulate.
awesome.
They're trying to emulate Godspeed, You Black Emperor, who's
Yeah.
like the big this scene. You know, the Big Ben music. But the other problem is this is another piece of music that got used in so many trailers too after the fact. Like, so many movie trailers had this song playing in the background.
Yeah. I just thought I genuinely do not like 28 Weeks Later, and one of the annoyances of the movie is just how much they overuse that song.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean,
I think 28 Weeks Later is fucking overrated, in my opinion.
It is wildly
It
overrated.
is.
That's why I'm looking forward to watching, because I haven't seen it since it came out, but because I have
20
a soft spot for Jeremy Renner. I'm like, I love this movie.
28.
but,
Jeremy Renner's gay. 28 Weeks Later has that awesome.
Jeremy Renner is awesome. Jeremy Renner is
I like
awesome.
Jeremy Renner.
28.
You piece of
When
shit.
you guys say Jeremy Renner, you know what I think of? I think of National Lampoon's Senior Trip.
I think
okay?
Hawkeye, you bastard.
No,
I think like
but
The Hurt Locker and Wind River.
there you go.
Wind River is fucking good.
Oh yeah.
I grew up watching Senior Trip, but the thing
yeah.
about 28 Weeks Later is it has that opening scene. The opening scene is like the best part of the movie by far.
Yeah. Yeah. Good opening scene. The rest of the movie is just trash.
The fucking ending just skims over though what is happening. How the fuck?
What's like
did they
Gord
get
told me?
to
You know what?
France?
I'm not against a bad movie making fun of it, and just because, and also like you said, going from this to a lackluster sequel, I'm looking forward to discussing it.
Yeah, I would say 28 Weeks Later is lackluster. I wouldn't say it's like garbage. I mean, yeah, it definitely has some issues, and it's just underwhelming story wise.
Yeah.
And again, it's just
so
like a
weird, though,
standard.
because
I hate the fucking military and the control room stuff, and you know, it just doesn't. Yeah, just feels like
it
standard
felt
shit.
really fucking overblown. It felt really more Hollywood than this movie did, and that's why I didn't like it. There's another reason as well, because the
Well,
ending.
20.
Well, let me finish what I'm saying. The kid is basically immune to the infection. He gets bitten by his dad. He doesn't turn. Yet somehow everyone else in France fucking gets infected by him. And what?
Yeah.
It just skims over a lot of fucking context that was needed.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be like a Contagion, where like, you know, there's like one in every like, I don't know, 10,000 people that's completely immune to it.
I've got the bullets. Get a machete.
Now,
dude.
but 28 Days Later, the reason why 28 Days Later works so well is because it's so eclectic and weird. Like the soundtrack is all over the place.
Black on black crime.
Yeah, Black Lives Matter will not like that. If it was more white people, yes.
Yeah, I like the way they build to this, where he goes and kills this guy.
Yeah. You almost fake. She almost thinks he's infected as well, the way he's acting.
Yeah, it's and when she sees him actually killing, it's like now it's really like, whoa,
like, damn,
okay,
dude.
what is he turned or what's going on?
He's a monster.
Yeah, she hesitates as
But
well.
that's a
It's like,
great-
okay, this character has
Yeah.
evolved from what's happened. She's hesitating to kill this guy, even though she would have done.
Well,
earlier.
it's set up because
Exactly.
Yeah, it's set up because she says, you know, if you ever get infected, I'll kill you faster than a heartbeat.
I know.
And then he calls her
That is
bluff,
clever writing.
basically, you know?
That's clever writing. That really is.
And he says, that was longer than a heartbeat. You know, it's a great line.
Plus, you want this guy to die. I mean, he's a fucking vicious psychopath. He is. He's a psychopath. He loves fucking killing.
Ow. Ouchie.
Damn.
My eyes.
He's beating the shit out of him.
My eyes! I can't see without my eyes. Oh my god!
She's terrified, but she's also so wet right now.
Oh yeah, she is. She is. Come on.
Her hesitation isn't is he or is he not infected? Should I just let myself get infected? She's
also
why
women were getting
why am I enjoying this for?
No, she's not enjoying it. In fact, the fact that she's wet adds to the terror. Like, why am I wet? Like, why is this turning me on? I don't like that.
Yeah, women were getting wet to the scene before Cillian Murphy did Peaky Blinders.
It's like my vagina is gushing, and I am so scared right now. I don't know what's happening to me.
No.
Oh my God!
I am going.
Guy's eyes out of his head just made me.
She
so
says,
so dreamy.
"I think you're gonna build the atomic bomb because I just exploded."
See, I actually like this song better for the theme music. This the happy theme.
Yeah,
the airplane theme.
Yeah.
Just simple little guitar.
And dude, the end credits, the last song you hear when they get rescued is like my favorite part of the whole soundtrack. And then the end credit music is great also. It's just fucking great. And none of it gets any hype. It's all about that one track that we just heard.
It is funny, this part, it's such a contrast from what's just happened because like this is genuinely funny. She like smashed on and she's like, he's not I was kissing her. Are you stoned?
Yeah, really?
No, we were kissing. I was just about to get laid till you cock blocks me, you little bitch.
It's a long story.
Goddamn Xanax.
Okay, now I will say
my boys.
What Hannah does here is really like this is stupid. I'm sorry. It's like backing up the car. Apparently she's a really good driver. She backs up to a car into an at the door, and the guy happens to show up at that time. It's like this is kind of stupid.
Cold-blooded.
It's not a very satisfying way for him to go. At least not in the way they went for it. I think they could have done this a lot better.
Anna.
It is still better than the alternate endings, though, which was really fucking depressing.
No, it's not that aspect of the ending that's bad. It's not the fact that he survives her. It's just the fact that she reverses to make sure he gets, taken by the zombie guy. It's like who just happens to be there at the right time. It's like, wow, that was really convenient. Okay.
Yeah, it's not perfect. I think the ending was where they started to run out of ideas a tiny bit, but it doesn't ruin the film.
Yeah.
No, this stuff, like everything from here is fine. Everything from here is, I like, but it's just that one part of it. I'm like, that's not a very good death for his character. It's kind of goofy how they did it.
I don't get the alternate best ending as well because to drive back to the hospital to fix him up and he dies. It's like, wait, do it.
Yeah, and the original ending was he was going to die from his gunshot wound.
Yeah.
28 days later, you find out that it's just Hannah and
this
Selena.
is actually basically the first ending right here, though. But it's cut very quick.
Right.
But then you see a little clip where it says hell before they get the orb.
So good. And then you realize, it's supposed to say hello.
Yeah.
They wasted a lot of cloth. They wasted a lot of cloth. It could have just been help.
Yeah.
But it does almost look like they're trying to make it hint like he is in hell and he just thinks he's alive still. But it doesn't really ruin the film. Well. It's still fucking great. It's still got this gritty look. It feels realistic.
Yeah, I love it.
It's one of the smarter fucking zombie type movies out there. Apocalyptic.
Yeah, all this stuff I like. All this It's the only issue I have with the ending part is how she killed Christopher Eccleston. I thought was really silly.
Yeah, it does feel a little rushed. I think because the other ending was discarded because of how ridiculous it was, I think they were trying to clutch at straws a little bit there.
Oh yeah, the starving infected right here. They're all skinny and dying. And this actor, like this old guy, like where'd they find this dude?
Homeless.
They probably found him in Hull somewhere, in the street, begging for change while everyone out night clubbing was fucking walking past him saying, "Hey, you're fucking."
We'll let you. The promise they paid him with the groceries that the main characters didn't eat.
Yeah.
Luckily, they have cans and cans of Heinz ketchup.
I know. Put me in your film. I'll suck your cock.
Jesus Christ.
I think that is what happened to one of the soldiers.
Kidney beans.
That's why this movie's so low budget for.
It's coming.
Yeah, find ways to cut corners.
The plane. The plane.
Is it me or is the fucking ending not shot on digital? It actually looks like it was used with an actual camera this time.
Yeah, this ending was
real.
filmed in 35mm, which is why it looks different and great.
Definitely heard of that, man.
Yeah,
I'm only just noticing it.
And
right
yeah,
now after fucking 20 years of watching this movie.
Yeah. It's filmed to be.
Yeah,
It's
right.
meant to look more hopeful.
Yeah.
Right, and it's just such a, like I said, like not only is the soundtrack and the look so original, but it's also just like the only zombie movie I could think of that has like a legit happy ending.
Yeah. I forgot to end on Gord. So how many alternative endings were there? 4 or 5 or some shit? Like
3, I think.
3 or 4.
Okay.
I think there's 3.
Yeah,
I mean, Shaun of the Dead more or less has a happy ending.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it ends up with a fucking loser kind of winning back his woman and still managing to save his friend, even though he's a zombie in a way.
Well,
he keeps him as a pet.
This fucking guitar.
Shaun of the Dead is still one of the tightest, fucking cleverest fucking scripts ever written.
No, Shaun of the Dead is awesome.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah, every fucking moment is like a setup for a payoff. That's what I love about this.
And then Hot Fuzz comes along and did it better.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Once again, tons of
think he
setup,
saw
tons of payoff.
I love how Jim was supposed to say that last line, and it's good that Selena says it.
Yeah.
And then we get that awesome ending shot of just, man,
Directed by
Danny
Danny
Boyle, dude.
Boyle.
And then this
Did a
track
great
too,
job.
man. This track
back
rocks
when Alex
also.
Garland had
No,
some
I
fucking
agree.
mats as
Yeah.
well. Before he
I
did
love the
Civil
soundtrack.
War.
That was good. Good stream, guys.
What are the lyrics here for this song?
I might be listening to the soundtrack while I edit today.
I have,
Yeah.
I jam the soundtrack a lot.
So, yeah. Yeah, no, Gord, thanks, because I haven't watched this film in at least a good decade, and man, some films you wonder if they age well. This film is it's still relevant in 2025.
Oh, I watched
right
it
now.
last October. I watched it every
Yeah.
Halloween because it's so fucking good. It's one of those films that I just love every time I watch.
Now,
Yeah, I never go too long without watching it.
Was
I
it
like
so like so Cillian Murphy has been confirmed for 28 years, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so it's like a flashback, I guess, de-aging. I mean,
Well, it's
or-
28 years later, so
yeah, so he could
he
still
could
be,
just be in it.
yeah, so we'll say. But definitely next week, like you said, Gord, I've not watched 28 Weeks since it came out because I just love Jeremy Renner, but I'm sure it didn't age well. But I'm curious next week to seeing what 28 Weeks is like, because it's been a while since I watched it.
I am a bit concerned though, because that chick from Captain what is it, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the ginger chick that they always make fun of, she's in it. So I'm like, please just let her die immediately.
Yeah. So,
I mentioned that Brendan Gleeson was from Braveheart on this one. Well, Mel Gibson's love interest from Braveheart is on 28 Weeks Later as Robert Carrall's.
Really?
Yeah, she's the one who's immune from the infection who eventually gets her eyes gouged after infecting her husband.
wow.
Oh.
So I thought that it was lower, but actually no, the budget for this film was actually 15 million.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
It's a major
Oh,
movie.
wow, I thought so.
This is one of the first major motion pictures to be filmed digitally.
Yeah.
Or with digital cameras, I should mean.
Yeah.
The thing is, most films after this tried to adopt this method and ended up getting really fucking
pretty good. I mean,
dated
but
pretty
15 million, but worldwide 65 also 2009. You figured digital DVD sales did matter back then, so still 65 worldwide on top of sales. No, it's pretty good. So nothing to complain about. Yeah. But yeah, so Gord, so any said you like this film? Like, is there a rating system? Like, I mean, I think is a solid for me 9 out of 10 is pretty good rating. But like any criticisms, like you said, stupid stuff with certain debts. But like
I mean, it does have issues that I do think put holes in the plot here and there. And a couple of them I would say are at least semi-major. So I do have to take something away from that. But that's really in the girl, her performance is kind of flat. It's nothing great.
Yeah.
But all together, it's for me probably between like a 7.5 to 8 out of 10. It's kind of hovering between very good and great for me.
Yeah.
It's a highly rewatchable movie. It's really entertaining, and it's one of the few zombie movies that I would say is genuinely scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing funny about this movie. It does feel very realistic. I mean, as much as I love Dawn of the Dead and George A. Romero and stuff, it is more satirical and it has a bit of a comic book look to it. But this feels like
I may be drunk next. Okay,
that could really happen.
No, definitely next week we'll do 28 weeks. But to Enzo and Luke, but any I mean, this film again, rewatching it, I love the film grain. I like the fact it's not 4K. But do you guys have any problems with the film or anything you want to add to it?
No, not much. I mean, it is almost perfect. I think it goes down a little bit in the second half, but it's still very effective.
Yeah, I can see that. So
yeah, I love this.
Cool.
Movie.
Yeah, no, it's definitely looking forward to 28 years later because next week's 28 weeks, and oh boy, it's been a while.
Hope it's good. I hope it's fucking good. Please be better. At least be better than 28 weeks later. I can handle if it's not as good as the first one.
The fact that it's the OG crew, and they've had some time to think about what to do with the sequel, I'm hoping that, but I've been disappointed before, so.
Oh, sorry, I want to say 28 days later. So box office and budget. Box office budget.
It seems to be very appealing to the more mainstream American audience, while still be appealing to the more more independent British audience.
Yeah, sorry, Gord, you're right. Sorry, 28 days was 8 million. 28 weeks was 15 million.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I looked up on the numbers. It said 28 days was 8 million. So I didn't know if there was an alternative source.
But yeah, I mean, 28 days, man.
It's so 28 days at 84. So 28 weeks to less than 28 days. Wow, and half the budget too. Jeez.
I almost agree with you.
You have to understand, this movie started the zombie renaissance. So when it came out, like it wasn't for everybody. But a lot of people were like, no, you should see it, especially when it came out on DVD. Everyone was like, you got to see this one. It's actually really good. It's one of those movies where...
I wouldn't say it influenced Shaun of the Dead because they already kind of hinted that in the Spaced episode.
They do hint. They do make some jokes about 28 Days Later in Shaun of the Dead. Though.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole thing. There's a whole thing at the end where he's like, and he goes, scientists say that the idea of the virus starting from rage-infested monkeys is complete but and they cut off. Like there's a little Easter egg joke. Pretty funny.
Yeah, because you have to understand 28 days later.
There's all these like little tiny bits you don't pick up until you watch it for like 100,000.
Oh yeah, but 28 Days Later was also like a big deal for like British cinema because it was sometimes an English movie jumps over the pond and it gets real big here in the States, and that's what happened with that one.
By the way, if you haven't watched Edgar Wright's documentary, The Sparks Brothers, highly recommend it. Really good.
Yeah, I watched that. That was a good one. I like Sparks. They're a good band.
Sparks are a really good band. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. What else? 28 Days Later. Something about it. Don't know. Forgot.
This was like a year or two after Dog Soldiers, which was another
2002. So
another low budget horror British movie with the things we like seeing in horror movies, like 28 Days Later had zombies or The Infected anyway, which was very zombie-like. But Dog Soldiers had
the beauty part of having our channel, like me, Enzo, Luke, and Gord King, is like there is still another 1,000 films we haven't watched. There's plenty of stuff to get to. So it's the whole Cornetto trilogy will be on our list. So.
Yeah, especially when we only do these once a month or whatever.
Or Hot Fuzz as well, because there was so much stuff to sort of prick and poke about that movie because
before we head out, I want to share Sammy, I was fucking with Sammy. It's only a 20-second clip I made for Sammy because like Enzo was on Sammy's panel, our buddy Sammy 3P, and so Sammy was showing some stuff with Kanye West on Twitter, and I made this for him. Here we go.
Oh no, and David Schwimmer came out.
Has to get involved.
NANI? Yeah.
Whoa! Be careful streaming.
Goddamn!
Get off! You're getting your camera off. Oh my god!
You done fucked up now.
There goes the stream. You gotta be careful.
We're not monetized.
Yeah.
I'm so glad Enzo showed that so much. I'll get that for him.
Here, let me show my version. Let me show my edit.
Sure. No problem.
But also, and David Schwimmer came out.
Has to get involved.
Yeah.
Oh, be careful streaming.
Goddamn.
Shit.
Get off. Goddamn.
Oh my God. Hang on, there's more. there goes the stream. You gotta be careful.
We're not monetized.
Yeah, but there's not
on Twitter.
there's not monetized, and there's actively getting like kicked off YouTube.
I didn't mean it. I didn't know that Yay was going to be like
get off the camera.
God damn it, Yay! Okay, never mind. This is going bad.
Do not
bad.
This is what you get for talking bad about Uncle O'Grimacy.
Yeah.
And he keeps going.
That's going on that. It's like Sammy, take it, stop sharing your screen and check it first. Whatever you're looking for, find it.
We've offended Jamma.
These guys. Yeah. Oh, so no, because it's like Jamma. Enzo was on Sammy's channel.
Was it too loud?
Could have been. Yeah, it was loud. My headphones. Yeah. All right. So
Somebody
next week, 28 weeks. So guys, I'm gonna see tonight is the Monkey. Tomorrow, Captain America 4. We're all happy with Captain America 4. Oh, if I have a YouTube channel, I would not be seeing that bullshit. Like, that's people say don't support Disney. I'm not paying for it, so fuck them.
Yeah, 15 minutes we'll be watching Heartbeats on my show, my channel. Heartbeats, the worst movie I think I've seen in a long time. Andy Kaufman, Valentine's Day special.
You me watch Santa Muscles too.
It's worse than that one. It's worse than Santa with Muscles. It's bad.
Yeah,
you guys should check it out. John Williams did the soundtrack. It's like a legit movie. It's a movie. It's like this was released in theaters. It's insane. You got to see it to believe it.
Oh God! All right.
All right.
All right, we're heading out. See you next week, guys. And
see y'all.
I